Howdy folks, and welcome to Adventures in Alberon, or the home of Adventures in Alberon, our 5th edition D&D campaign. However, today we are playing a one-shot, or a two-shot adventure. I'm so used to doing one-shot. A two-shot of adventure called, I don't even remember what it's called. It's in the title. But it has to do with La Llorona, which is a Mexican or Latin American folktale. I am joined by Matt, Tina, and Ari, my friends. You know Matt and Tina, who play Adventures in Alberon with us every week. And then Ari has been a guest with us multiple times, and then will be a regular player on Mosaic Team 5, which is a Starfinder campaign that will be every Thursday, I want to say from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., starting the last week of this month, which is very exciting. I spent all today painting scatter terrain, little crates and couches and toilets.
So when I blow shit up, it's going to be...
Yeah.
Scattered terrain.
So that's going to be happening. Hi, Nort Nugget. Thank you for joining us. Somebody you know.
Yeah, it's so cute.
So for today, we're going to be starting this two-part campaign. Next Friday, we will be concluding it. And then after that, we will be getting right back to session 98, I want to say, of Adventures in Alberon. So where we have stepped into the Feywild and are doing some fun things there. But a couple of announcements before we get started. We do have a website, alberonrpg.com. It has been updated to now have information about Mosaic Team 5 and Adventures in Alberon. There are cast photos of all these people up there, myself as well. There is some information about each campaign. There is also, on the Adventures in Alberon page, I have not updated it for 3 weeks in a row, I eventually will, but there is a lore section that has 95 pages of information about Adventures in Alberon, every race, every class, how they fit into the world, as well as most of the continent of Dominion broken down to locations, points of interest. There is a swath of historical information, something like 1,500 years of history written for that continent in specific. So a lot of really cool things you can download for free, always as a PDF on alberonrpg.com. We also have a Instagram, which is at AlberonRPG. We have a lot of hand-drawn maps, painted, what are they called? Painted miniatures and all kinds of little things. You can kind of see it, or you will be able to see it if we have battles today on Battlecam. However, it is not the easiest way to see, so go online at AlberonRPG. You can see close-ups and a lot of the cool little details. I know tonight especially I have a cool things planned. We'll see if they end up being used. For you guys, it's like 50-50. But at AlberonRPG. And then finally, for music and sound effects that you hear that are not made by us, we use a digital platform called Sirenscape, which is a digital toolset that Dungeon Masters or any person can use to inject sound effects and music into their lives. So Sirenscape, check that out. And with that, we can just get right into our reading. We don't have any recap. All right. 1 second here so I can see. One other thing. So I have a printer again. I told Ari this already, but I was able to print out item cards for any items that you guys might get. I didn't really know how to use the printer. So for every item except for the one that
it's like a big
might
splotch.
be for Tina's character, they're all very small. Tina's character is like very easy to read. Your guys, not so much. Okay.
I think I brought a magnifying glass.
Yeah. It's like some elderly people in a restaurant.
I can't read right now anyway.
Perfect.
I can't read ever.
Yours is the only one that's big.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right. Oops, sorry. Let us begin. You walk through busy streets. Oh, let me add some busy streets.
To go with our jungle?
This is a pale imitation of the true jungle beats.
Yeah, I know. But Jungle Beats it had a lot of copyright issues, apparently.
Not a sponsor.
Jungle Beats?
Jungle Beats, not a sponsor. Well, if they're getting into a bunch of copyright infringements, I don't know.
Fair point. Okay. You walk through busy streets. The reddish hue of stone brick used as a primary building material dominates your view. These narrow streets, crowded with 2 to 3 story buildings that occasionally feature small patios called terrazas that spill out and cross the pedestrian walkways themselves, which are made of these muted rust-colored stones formed into large squares. People brush by you, many with the tan skin and black hair that many native Tenochians have. There are extremely prominent high elves here, more than many of the places that you have all played within Alberon. Second to them, you see humans. You see dozens of gnomes, a lot more populous than almost any place else in Alberon. There are tieflings. You see, more than most places as well, dragonborn. Unlike other places in Alberon here, there are lizard folk, there are Minotaur. This is a place, because of its proximity to the west across the northern Emerald Expanse, there's the continent of Gath, home of the dragons, and so lots of different kind of reptilian creatures from over there. As you walk, you see a pair of elk warriors, sort of the guards of this city. Very, very prominent from their use of this pale green body paint and face paint that breaks into a lot of geometric patterns. They have antlers that are kind of affixed to the steel helms that they wear. They talk and laugh kind of off to the side, and you notice they do seem to be watching people pass with interest, but not noting you or anybody else in particular. You see donkeys, horses, pulling carts and people. There are goods being transported along these cobbled roads, leisurely paces. Everywhere there is the smell of searing garlic, slow roasting meats, and the many spices grown in the Jaguar Valley, where this town, Tula, is. There's a flurry of movement in the otherwise calm streets that draws all of your attention towards a crowd of people who are gathered around a well, sitting and speaking, just sort of like a general marketplace. Hello, town. This pair of young men who are wearing cloths and these toga-like capes worn over the right shoulder back away from the well as a young man walks through, conspicuously dressed very differently than anybody else here. You can see trousers and a button-up vest atop a fine white shirt, though that shirt is soaked through with sweat in the hot air. This man has bright brown hair, parted down the middle, kept down with some kind of a product, perhaps. They have a mustache that makes them look almost like a sunburned Pringles man, just comes out and curls around at the top. But he approaches your small group. Jonathan Clispin, sworn to House Redguard, though currently in the employ of your assumptive boss, Pipitlin Curin, the Arenbold himself. You must be... He kind of looks back and forth amongst the three of you, four if you count Diego. Who would like to introduce themselves first? Oops.
All right, I'll go first because I stand out the most. I'm Exora, I'm a satyr, and I'm blonde as blonde can be. So I have sort of like a natural halo as the light kind of hits my hair.
Sure.
I wear a breastplate with a sunbeam on it, like a sun pattern. And on my back currently, because I'm not using it, I've got a mosaic mirrored shield that creates sort of like a prismatic light behind me as it hits in the sunshine. And I will reach out my hand and let him kiss it.
He'll grab it and just go, oh. Kiss it, you feel a brush of the mustache on it. It has some kind of like a almost product that stays on your hand as it pulls away. Charmed.
Discreetly wipe it on my furry hindquarters and looking for work.
Well, you've come to the right place, and the Arenbold has invited you, of course. And you, sir, halfling?
Name's Lang Rangler.
Kind of leans down, and in this place you can see there is now a small group of people, not gathered around necessarily, but very clearly paying attention to this interaction. He leans in, and at this moment, your little velociraptor-like creature...
I'm dismounting as I say this.
Yeah, just kind of like the head swoops in towards this guy, kind of making these little bird-like noises. He backs away, a little bit distrustful of it. Is that thing tame?
Oh, yes. Diego is very tame.
Quite
when needed.
A little bit of curiosity never hurt anybody, especially in this line of work, I suppose. He sort of walks around to the other side of you, keeping you between Diego and him.
As Diego starts chirping, I chirp back at it.
Very nice. Diego, just all of a sudden, the head just tilts and turns, and the neck cranes to the side.
Just back and forth with it.
Yeah, every now and then. Just
giggling a little bit.
He looks back and forth and nods. Splendid, splendid. The entire hunting party has arrived then. Please, let us decamp from this oppressive heat to the Castile d'Or, the mercifully cool halls that our employer is within. If for any reason you need to stop, please let me know. Keep your hands near your valuables. They do have a chance to go missing in the markets. With me, please. And he begins to walk off.
I guess I would start leading Diego
So
down the road.
Okay, so and remind me again your character's name, Matt?
Lang Rangler.
Lang Rangler, the halfling. Okay.
I've made a new friend and this sounds like fun, so I'm following.
So you notice, doesn't even seem to like pay attention to this. Actually, if you want to describe your character, since he didn't ask for your introduction.
At first glance, elf. Long-ish silver hair done up in braids, and kind of wispy-looking clothing, though you can see leaves and some like wheat stalks poking out here and there, and they seem to be moving in and around. Bright gold eyes, and you can almost see in the light maybe like an auburn cast to her hair.
Very nice. And the name?
Aislin.
Ashlyn.
Irish spelling.
Okay. I'm not even going to try because I know that's very complicated. Like Eefy with A-O-I.
Right?
More G's than necessary, but
So you walk through these narrow streets here and there. As you do, so as you walk, 3-story buildings that kind of come out and you can see stacked almost like boxes where they lean over the street in places, kind of creating fairly claustrophobic feelings. But every now and then you come to an area where a whole block of structures is cleared and there is a marketplace or a plaza or a little park. Part of this city design leaving places for people to congregate. As you walk on the right, you pass one of these plazas, lots of stone tables with these little benches kind of designed to sit. Some of them taken, some of them not. In the middle of this area, there is a small patch of grass that go around it's a twisted tree with green leaves and vibrant red lily-like flowers that come off the leaves. There are kids playing underneath. You can see them kind of like skipping around. There's a few people there. You continue to walk, and off to your left, you can see a small marketplace. There's a big kind of banner over top that reads Chatela Loco, which means, for those of you who speak Tenochian, which can be common in this particular instance, it means the local market on the windswept way. You can see different little tables scattered with small crafts and elements of food. You can see somebody selling bits of bone and wood jewelry. But as you walk, is there anything that anybody wishes to do?
I would like to buy a snack.
Okay.
And I'll keep that guy's advice and, be mindful of my party members and distrustful figures.
Okay, fair enough. Make a perception check as you sort of walk up.
I'm going to be just rolling me own pipe leaf cigar.
Okay.
I rolled a 2, and -1 is 1.
Fantastic. So you see a series of temporary wooden fences about 2 feet tall, penning in 7 turkeys. There's a whole bunch of people gathered around, kind of admiring them. You see large, almost dinosaur-like birds with faintly glistening iridescent sheens to the feathers, just like real turkeys.
Yeah.
But that seems to be the place selling food, although not currently cooked. These are
live turkeys? I don't know that I want to buy a turkey. Do you want to buy a turkey? You have an affinity for beasts.
No, I don't think I do.
You don't want an attack turkey?
I can make one.
That's fair. Good point. So you all continue to walk.
Yeah.
After about 10 minutes, you come to a tall set of whitewashed walls about 12 feet high, with the bottom 4 feet is made out of a sturdy adobe sort of brick. There's an elaborate gateway of wrought iron gilded with thin patterns of gold leaf depicting a slender man with the horns of a bull, with arms outstretched. The face and skin almost kind of brushed with gold, it seems, like gold leaf. As this man approaches, you can see he takes a key out of his pocket and slots it in. Kind of opens these gates and gestures for you all to enter. You all walk in.
Lovely makeup, by the way.
He looks over, and it's not makeup. It's just it's like a face made out of very thin bits of gold leaf, so that it's like it's a metal face but has gold leaf layered across the cheeks, the nose, to make almost like a 3D effect. But walking through that, you come into a very small courtyard that sits in front of a little, fairly large structure, actually. There are doorways that lead into the structure on all four sides as far as you can tell, though you cannot see behind. And then jutting into the courtyard space, there is a little, almost like an overhead, an awning, they're called, that leads to the main front door, which is currently open. There's a walkway of smooth plaster plates that are cross-hatched for grip. They make orderly paths around the courtyard to different sections. You see like a little inner building that comes off one of the walls, making it slightly irregular. There's beautiful pale sand that fills the rest of the ground. But there are here and there adobe pots of cacti, fruit trees, flowers that add splashes of color, greens, reds, and yellows to the otherwise sort of sand-toned area. Off to your left, you see a prominent statue of a golden cactus it's about 8 feet tall, gold, with thorns of jade. Entering into the front door, you immediately get into a larger, sort of darker hall. Give me 1 second here. Okay. You enter this doorway, and the first thing that you notice about it, it's tall, about 8 feet tall, and wider at the top than the bottom, shaped in ways like a geometric keyhole. As you approach, there are very low torches in all four corners of this large, maybe 60-foot long room, and you can see at the very back of it, there's a long red carpet that leads to like a left-hand, almost an L shape, that leads to a throne, or a very large chair at the very least at the end. You can see there is a figure of gold seated on this. See cushions of red and yellow silks that have been kind of thrown across, but he's a golden tiefling that stands up. Although maybe not gold, similar to that sort of gait. There is like brushed gold across his cheeks, his forehead, almost his whole self. For those of you from Tenoch, the gold trade here, very, very vibrant.
Yeah.
And for those who are part of the sort of gold merchants and those who own stakes in the gold mines, showing that is very important to maintaining your place in society. This figure, probably very wealthy, based on what you've noticed so far.
Oh my gosh.
You can see the horns, long and sleek, rising up and away from the head, very much like a bull's horns. You can see just around the edges of the eyes where the gold flakes go away, there is the sort of moderately brown skin, but certainly maybe gold body paint or makeup.
I feel like I should have bought that turkey as like a gift to give this guy, but I didn't. So I'm going to start like subtly looking in my pockets for like something I might have to like give this guy because he's so fancy.
Oh yeah, Junior, I brought you a present from abroad.
Yeah, it's this pebble I found on your courtyard.
Some gum and a Montana quarter.
I owned that.
He approaches wearing this gauzy mesh sleeveless blouse that shows a torso also bedecked in gold. He's wearing a billowing black linen pants and near transparent cloak of gauzy film that is held gently by two gold painted, now that they kind of step into the light, they're almost like these naked gold painted attendants. No hair, just painted almost entirely gold that hold this almost invisible cloak behind him. You can see the eyes are painted pretty heavily black around them, the lips as well. This is traditionary Tenochian funerary paint. The man approaches within a few feet of you and stops. You can smell jasmine and fire and warm vanilla from him. But this, he steps and kind of looks across and just gestures. Attendants, leave us. guests, and you can see immediately they just drop, and almost it's like a coordinated thing. They both turn at the exact same time, and in turn step out and through a doorway out of sight. Thank you all for heeding my call. I am Kieran, and I'll tell you now, this task is not for the faint of heart or stomach. I have asked you here to slay the creature that drowned my brother, but not even the elk warriors will intervene, for superstition and fear. Tell me, you, and he turns and looks at you,
Yeah,
are a paladin.
absolutely. I am for glory and for God.
Are you superstitious?
No, I wouldn't say so. I think I got faith to protect me, and I'm just happy to be here.
Well, tell me, do you know of Man, I researched all the pronunciations. Really tough. La Llorona.
I would.
Make a history check. Anybody who would like to can make a history check.
Ooh, 19.
19.
10.
Okay.
15.
15. For you, it rings a bell. As a child, perhaps you heard of nursery rhymes. With a 15, you've heard of this creature. La Llorona is a folktale. It's a woman. It has like a what's it called? A lesson. There's a moral, right? It's a whole story about a woman scorned. And it's usually depicted as a woman who weeps through the streets at night, looking to kill somebody to make up for a curse or some kind of a sin. The story varies pretty widely depending on who you talk to. There are places where it's somebody who, it's the spirit of somebody who drowned and is coming back looking to capture a living body to return to life. Things of that nature. Certainly not something that's ever been described as real. With a 19, you've heard beyond even that, it rings a bell of nursery rhymes. You have heard of this creature with the nursery rhymes, weeping, something from its past scaring it, and the last line of the nursery rhyme you remember being "Run away, boys, and run away fast." And for some reason that sticks out to you. But that is what you would know. He... One second here. Is going to turn back to all of you and say, La Llorona is a creature of the night who is stuck between the worlds of the living and the dead. She hypnotizes men who come close to investigate the ethereal sounds of her sobs, and then lures them to the river, and he just kind of stops. He turns for a little bit and thinks for a moment. She comes out at night and she hunts. Those who would try to thwart her will feel her talons. She has a long, damp, feathery dress and elongated features. My brother, poor Alexo, will be burned at the full moon tomorrow night. She claimed his life, and it is for this that I would like her gone or dealt with. The elk warriors will not look into this, for superstition, or so they say.
What proof could we bring you of slaying a ghost? How would you know if we succeeded in our task?
An excellent question. He turns and turns to this this very out of place looking gentleman kind of lurking way back in the doorway. You can see just from the grease in the mustache the kind of flicker of firelight reflected. He draws back a little bit, but
Is that still the Pringles guy?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Our messenger boy.
I mean, he's an attendant. But this tiefling points to him and says, Jonathan will accompany you, and tell me when you've accomplished your task. Whatever it is that you need for a reward can be provided.
I got a few questions, if you don't mind. Where was this La Llorona
last seen with your brother. Do you have any affects of his that may have come into contact with La Llorona?
Any of the affects that he had would be on the basalt altar of... Jeez, I really did this to myself. Huitzil Opochtli. Which...
I'm going to invoke my background of Wanderer.
Mm-hmm.
I have good memory of locations and maps, and is that a thing that I would know about, or a place that I would know about because?
You know, no, since it was built yesterday.
Oh,
but
built
what
yesterday.
I will say,
Wow.
what I will say is, thinking about that, you've heard of that name in reference to almost every child knows that name. That word that I just mumbled and stated and came out horribly.
Wait, this altar of basalt? I thought basalt's just a rock, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it is the god of death.
Okay.
Basically, the god that bodies are offered up to.
Okay.
Especially those of warriors. And so, funerary pyres are typically something that would be done for people of this station in life.
Okay.
Poor people are typically buried beneath the floorboards of their houses so that they can be close to their family. But for richer people, you can afford this kind of an event.
Okay.
But if there are any affects, that's where they would be. And you are welcome to investigate. Just please be respectful.
Of course.
Jonathan, please make sure that they respect the body. And you can see Jonathan just kind of nod from the shadows.
Your brother's body is there as well?
Yes.
I would meet all the players in this dream.
He turns his head and says, "What do you mean?"
I was brought here by the dream.
He turns and says, "Jonathan, who is the dream?" And you can see from the hallway, Jonathan just goes,
it's not a person.
What is the dream? What is the dream?
Oh, the dream is everywhere.
This tiefling now
It's more of a conceptual thing.
he takes a few steps forward, and when he gets off the carpet, you can hear this almost like a clop, and you can look down and see he's wearing these like metal, almost like metal slippers, like steel slippers. But he clops across to where you are, standing almost, for you as a halfling, towering over you. He bends down and just... pipe leaf. He turns to Jonathan. "Please supervise them carefully." Backs up a little bit. Is there anything that you would require?
If it wasn't La Llorona, did your brothers have any living non-ghostly enemies? You're a powerful family, I can see, and it would be a convenient thing to target a murder on a ghost.
It would. But my brother is not the first to fall to this creature.
Oh.
That being said, the Elk Warrior's hesitance to investigate in any way, blaming it on superstition, there's something that Itzchim is hiding. I think.
Eats who? Eats dreams?
Itzchim. He is the Minotaur silver elk of this town.
This.
Now, where would we find
One can't have a name that sounds like Eats dreams either.
Itzchim.
Chew?
It's cheese.
It's chew.
It's a Sylvan name.
Right.
Now, where might we find this East Chew?
They would be at the Hall of the Elks.
Alright, well, it seems as if we should mosey over to the Hall of the Elks and then maybe check out the body.
Do you have spurs? Do you
Oh, yeah.
ticka 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 when you walk?
Oh yeah, the whole nine.
I want to hear the beat of you and this tiefling guy like walking together.
It's just like a whole.
And I got hooves too, so I can like tap a tap a tap.
Oh man,
It's
yeah, that's
basically
loud.
Yeah.
It's basically like a fully composed beat.
Right. The acoustics in this place are awful for walking.
Oh yeah, it echoes. Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, we've got places to be, laundry lists to check off. We're good.
He nods and turns, walks back to his throne. Jonathan comes scurrying out from the shadows. Well done, all of you. Come. And he kind of gestures and
Well
scurries.
done. We haven't done anything yet.
We talked to somebody, at least for a minute.
Well, I'll tell you, when he stooped down and smelled you, that was quite concerning. But you're still here, so come on. And he just kind of gestures out. He opens the door. You can see this daylight spill in.
Lean over and smell him as he walks by.
I'll take the hint and do the same. And then I'll smell your
I ain't no
raptor.
damn flower.
As you walk out, Diego kind of towed behind you. Diego kind of, like, he takes his snout and nudges into your leg, which is relatively affectionate, but you actually hear it go,
What? What do you know?
All right, should we go to Altar of Basalt first, or should we just kick down the door of the Hulk of Elves, Hall of Elves, whatever.
the Elks Hall.
The Elks Hall, there you go.
The basalt of altar is right around the back of the house, so
Oh,
that would
that's-
be the easiest thing. It is erected for the funerary procession.
So they just found his body like lying in the street with like claw marks and wet.
Floating in a river, actually.
Oh, right.
Yes. And it was transported here. It was sort of emptied first, and then transported here, and then it will be burned.
How far is this river?
Perhaps 45 minutes as a walk if we're walking on foot, which most of us would have to do.
So it would seem. Well, let's
Check out the.
investigate the body.
Right this way, and he
Yeah.
walks around, and walking behind the structure, you can see there are black bricks that have been mortared together with this like red clay to create a pyre, stacked into levels. Next to this, you can see there's a shaded area that has been dug into the ground, a little wooden box with flowers of red, white, pink, and yellow scattered over top. You can see there are small jars of amber-colored liquid scattered around, and as you draw a little bit closer, you smell honey. Just underneath that, there's a slightly unpleasant putridity to the air, and you would imagine the honey meant to mask that. Within the hinged box, you would imagine roughly the size of a coffin, so probably the remains of this tiefling. The flowers scattered across. What do you all want to do?
I want to find out how this person died.
All right, what are you doing?
Medicine. I have an herbalism kit. Can I? No, not. I'm gonna make a medicine check.
Okay, so you walk up and you're just going to open up this coffin?
Yeah.
Fantastic. You walk up to this wooden box, open it up, and just inside is a dead tiefling. You
Is
can
he
see-
also gold?
So you see this body very bloated. You can see already the clothing, this loose-fitting cloth, white funerary cloth set across it, but even where this should be normally like a flowy kind of flared end, the wrist like fills much of the sleeve. It is not a great-looking body. You see a veil that covers most of the face, although you can actually see the teeth kind of protruding from the lips as they draw back in a way. The eyes are a little bit sunken in. The sockets have been closed, but even now underneath the gauze, you can see they've kind of pulled up, and you can see little signs of decay. Interestingly enough, medicine check?
25.
25.
Damn.
Interestingly enough, though you've heard of these terrible talons of La Llorona, there's no sign of damage like that. You see obvious signs of drowning, of bloating and water damage. The expression, too, serene, almost strangely so. With a 25, something that, depending on your level of superstition within Tenoch, you notice very faintly an impression in the forehead. It is this symbol of an eye. It's the evil eye, which in Tenoch is a symbol that a powerful evil entity is looking upon you. So typically, this is something that some ultra-religious, like old folks, might avoid very strongly. And when you think about reasons that the police might avoid, maybe one or two, but the whole department, well, it's like 5 guys, but the whole group, pretty tough to reason for. You get very close, and despite the smell, you don't see any signs of like festering. There's no wounds, just drowning.
So I
He's
was
not
going to
gold.
see
He's just,
if
kind of bluish.
there were like any signs of like creature attacks or anything, but you just kind of answered that. Right? So,
Yeah, with a 25 medicine check, you see this druid look very closely.
Does it smell like river? What if he was just drowned in like a trough?
Melodic River.
For you, somebody who is so close to nature, there is the smell of like loam and maybe elements that could be like gross old dead algae. So maybe, yeah, not like a fresh river, but it's also a corpse.
Right. Do you tell us everything?
All this, yeah.
Was the symbol of the eye done prior to death or after death? Because that would be like great way to.
With a 25 and a medicine check, you can't tell, and part of that is because this is not a natural mark. It doesn't look like it's scarred in. It's not an impression because that would have gone away. This
Not like a tattoo or anything.
no, it looks like something is currently being pressed into the skin. Like an invisible thing is being pressed to cause this. But even if you were to get close and touch it, it's just dented in skin. It's very, very strange.
That's very, very strange.
I'm gonna detect magic it and see if it's magic.
When you cast detect magic, what does it look like?
I'd like to imagine that there's like a little bit of a Sailor Moon sparkly silhouette whenever I cast magic.
Fantastic.
Where you just see like my glowy horns and my glowy blonde hair and how gorgeous I am. And then it just sort of settles into sparkles around my eyes and I like laser beam into it.
Fantastic. So, Lang Rangler, from your very short perspective, you look up and you can see Exora. And from over top, with the sun now getting probably about 10 a.m., 11 a.m., not quite high noon, but getting there, you can see the golden hair creates almost this aura as it's hit by the sun, and it seems to brighten to the point where almost this looming dark figure cast from this brilliant light from behind, then it focuses into these intensely golden eyes. And it's like this almost like horrifying, like evil Superman moment before the vision casts, and you just see Exora again, but now looking with this almost flashlight-like beam, even amongst the light. Looking at this body, there is no magic to it. You don't notice anything especially magic, not even this mark upon the head. So perhaps supernatural, truly.
Well, I don't have any fancy tricks still, and make my eyes do that kind of thing. So
Well, I just wanted to twin with
Add a
my
bit of a-
new companion, Ashley.
Yes.
Ashlyn.
Ash,
Ash.
Ashley.
I
Ashlyn.
like this.
Isn't it nice?
I don't like that. Pointing at
Oh, the
body.
dead guy?
Well, he's an interesting character.
Poor Lexo. Hey, Jonathan.
Yes,
Oh, this probably makes you uncomfortable.
I'm not super thrilled with this.
I'm gonna close the lid.
Thank you. I did work with this man for quite some time, so
I'm sorry for your loss.
thank you.
Was he nice to you, generally?
Relatively speaking, I think, kind of looks over his back. This crust of society, prone to certain behavioral characteristics, but yes, in general, relatively nice.
Anyone in particular upset about this crust?
Well, I mean, when you think about the politics of this kind of thing, yes.
I don't generally think about the politics.
It doesn't surprise me. I would say, generally speaking, those of a lesser station always look up to those, especially those who adorn themselves with gold in such a way.
Look up, what's that supposed to mean?
Just
Are you
meant-
talking down to me?
Well, literally, yes. You're very short.
Have you ever tried standing, mounting horseback, raptor back? If you
I say
stood,
you would be about the same height as me.
yeah. I'm just a problem solver here.
I'm like looking at him, but I'm kind of internally, I'm like, why hadn't I thought of that?
It's a good idea.
In your head, you start designing like
Dead,
little
like
bootstraps.
dead stare, just silently, just kind of like.
You need like a snowboard binding mount for the velociraptor's
Oh,
back.
fuck! Why didn't I think?
Saw that at a circus.
I got all the way
once.
to a fucking halfling riding a raptor, but I didn't think about that last critical step.
You could Legolas shield ride the
Yes.
Damn it!
All right. So Lexo's dead. We've got at least 10 hours of beautiful shining daylight left before
Sun
nighttime.
makes no difference.
Sorry, and he's getting burned tonight or tomorrow night is full moon?
tomorrow night.
Okay.
But if we could avoid a supernatural creature killing people tonight, that would be preferable.
Now, what is this superstition that
Which one?
about La Llorona?
Well, I think with the evil eye and La Llorona, it's just a general worry, especially as La Llorona seeks males specifically, it would seem.
Well, good for her.
Well,
She does know what she likes.
Yeah. I mean, it seems simple enough. Just like respect women and like all the things society struggles to do.
I don't think it really has anything to do with respect. I think it really has more to do with the fact that it is a supernatural killing machine. But also, yes,
Supernatural killing machine.
All right. And maybe if we don't catch it tonight, she'll just show up to his funeral. That's what I've done to all of my ex-boyfriends.
Well, we do have someone who might stand in as a target.
We have two of them.
You're talking about Johnny.
Yes.
I'm not much of a combatant. The entire reason that we've hired all of you is to do most of that kind of work. I'm really more of a guide, a cultural liaison, if you will.
I don't
Convenient.
seek the affections of women.
All you have to do is investigate the sounds of her sobs. So, like, we could go around town tonight and see if we can listen to women crying. Crying women.
That doesn't sound like something I'd like to spend any time doing.
Unfortunately, without better ideas from the Hall of Elks, that's the
We
best
should
we've
check out the
got.
Hall
My
of
friend
Elks.
sounds like Scritch. Diego in the chin.
At this point, it's almost like bird-like sounds that this raptor is making. The eyes close, and you could swear it's almost like a grin. You see these jagged teeth from down the bottom, but a very happy little dinosaur.
Well,
Shall we? Mosey on.
Yes, let's mosey.
Are you making fun of his accent?
Yes, I am. But it's growing on me. I'm very fond of it. I especially like when you announce the times.
I'm just gonna roll up another pipe leaf cigar.
let's get moving.
Indeed, I will lead you all along. And he kind of about faces, and you all walk roughly in the same direction you came back from.
When we get to the gate, I'm
Yeah.
gonna mount up.
Okay. You ride on this raptor now, fully the same height as the rest of your party. Give me 1 second.
I'll match pace with the raptor, so we're clip-a-clopping at the same time.
It's probably more like a scritcha.
Well, I'll be clip-a-clopping.
You are clip-a-clopping, a little bit more scritcher for the moment.
Yeah.
But only about 2 minutes away, you get back to the place where you saw the children playing. They're now gone, but going right where left would take you back to where you had come from. Mm-hmm. About a minute away, you reach this building, noted by the pale green stripes that run around the top and the bottoms of the brick walls. That pale green color is sort of the color of the elk in general. But flanking the arched doorway, you see statues of the last two silver elks of this town. A tiefling on the left and another minotaur on the right. Walking into the open door, there is no actual door in this building. Oh no, sorry, there is a wooden door. Metal barred across the middle, wooden door. Currently open. You can see into the interior. Maybe a 35 by 30 foot room, 9 foot tall ceilings, wooden rafters that support the ceilings above, wooden tables and crates, little bits of furniture here and there. You can see a cage off in the corner. Are you all entering?
Should we talk about, like, what we're going to say? Because, like, we're just going to add, like, these are important people.
Jonathan stops and just kind of goes, I believe in a plan of action, as good as not having one.
Well,
But it is really up to all of you. I'm going to stand outside and not... I don't love the authorities of Tenoch.
well, all right then. Did they respond to the body when it was first found?
Yes, they actually were those who brought the body back, but upon doing an investigation,
there
they
we
decided
go.
not to investigate further.
Well, all right then. I suppose we'll go and ask them if they have any leads on this Llorona.
Okay.
Cool. We'll walk in, and I'm gonna find the most important looking person in the room.
Okay, so you all walk in. What are you doing with Diego?
I guess I'm gonna hitch him. Is there a hitch?
Yeah, there is. There's like 3 little hitching. It's wooden post that goes up into a Y,
Yeah,
so you
alright.
can just kind of double hitch around and
I'm gonna hitch him up and then reach into my satchel and pull out. Probably is got like a full dead chicken for lunch.
fantastic. You unwrap this full dead chicken, the linen coming away with bits of fat and clumps of feathers.
Throw it up to him and be like,
I'll be back in a minute.
He makes that kind of and just bites it straight out of the air. You see this like older man walking by, like starts away from it and then smiles and continues on his way. There are people who pass and they do seem to admire this velociraptor. You see a few horses and donkeys. Nobody else has this cool dinosaur mount, and they're quite sought after. So getting a lot of attention. But at the moment, like the whole chicken, legs sticking out from the mouth. He's having a good time. Who's leading the way in? You said you were
Yeah,
the
sure,
most
I'll-
person. Sure. So
No, you.
you can do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in after I've hitched,
okay.
and I speak Minotaur, so I'm gonna ask for I forget his name already.
Ischim.
Ischim. Yeah.
So walking in, Exora, there is a tiefling wearing kind of a gray jacket. You see the pale green face paint of the elks. He's not wearing the helmet. You see it placed on a table next to him. But he gets up. You see way off in the corner there is a like a lizard man actually, wearing a tunic, same very elaborate face paint actually. Sitting there just doing paperwork. But this tiefling gets up. Can I help all of you?
Yes, we are here on behalf of Curran.
We're looking for Eaststream if he's available.
He's currently processing a prisoner right now who was just taken in. But if you can wait 15, 20 minutes, he could be right with you. Is there something that I could help you with? Silver Elk Eaststream is quite busy and has much to do. He is in charge of almost everything within the law parts of the city.
If it's all the same to you, I believe I will wait for him.
Well, if it's all the same to you, some preliminary questions, there might be paperwork that you must do. It would be helpful to fill it out ahead of time.
I'm a simple man. I don't need to fill out paperwork.
Well,
I just have a simple question.
Are you all here together?
Yeah.
Ostensibly so.
Okay, could we pick one person and then I'll speak to them?
After you.
I'll turn on my charm.
I'll wait outside.
Oh,
I'm
no.
gonna go just like lean up against the front of the building with
Jonathan?
with Diego. Like go wait by the hitch and be like smoke my cigar.
Sure. Kind of light that up. People walking by, look at this dinosaur. The dinosaur now is like crunching the bones, breaking them, and have to get the marrow out. It's pretty happy. But you inside, turning on your charm. What are you saying?
Yes, we're here on behalf of Curran, and I'll point to my other lovely friend here. Very complimentary, gold and silver.
This is about his brother.
It is.
I'm terribly sorry. We've already looked into that.
No, I understand, and I was just wondering if you had any of those policies written down onto why you wouldn't look at a murder.
It's not so much policy. It's also not a murder. It's very sad, but he was found drowned in a river, and that's the cause of death. There is no murder. I understand I understand that Kirin very upset about the death of his brother. Anybody would be, of course. We've looked into it, and there's nothing really to look for.
It might be helpful to us to have whatever information just so that we can tell them that it's all good or that it's taken care of.
Make a persuasion check. Howdy, Doss.
19.
19. I suppose if you really want to be rejected face to face, you could wait for Itzchin. That's fine. But he'll tell you the same thing. He'll be the person to give you any information. He was the person that brought the body in. Please, have a seat. And you can all grab a seat if you wish.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You can see the lizard looks up as you all sit across from his table, and he just goes back to just scratch.
Smile at him.
I'm gonna give it like 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna go see if Itzchim is like back in there,
Okay.
ready.
After about 10 minutes, the door in the very back opens. You see through it a very narrow hallway that hooks to the right, but through it, bending to get through the doorway, is a massive Minotaur. You can see broad shoulders, wearing armor, has this elaborate kind of facial paint, huge horns, but he comes out and says, "The little ones are troublesome. Their bones are too brittle. What have we here?" And he turns and, just given how you all look, immediately kind of turns to you. The tiefling gets up and just goes, "They're here about Kieran's brother." And the Minotaur narrows his eyes at you. "What about him?"
Just we're looking for the information that you would have gathered in your report before closing his case. And also just concerned citizens about all of my fellow brothers and fathers about what you're doing to reassure them that they're safe here. If you're not going to pursue this in any meaningful way.
"You're not a citizen of this town.
No, but
I
I'm
know who you are."
around. I speak tech. I forget the language, but I do speak it.
Tenoch.
Tenochin. I'll say it in Tenochin.
Sure.
I'm gonna say in Minotaur.
Okay, you lean in the door.
Like,
Itzchim, is it?
He turns, his eyes narrow. He looks up at first, and then his eyes go down.
The name's Lang Rangler.
Lang Rangler.
It's a pleasure to meet
Stands
you.
up and just steps over. He bends down, gets down on one knee to be like at your eye level. "How is it that you speak Minotaur?" Do either of you speak Minotaur? Okay, so this is a conversation only you are understanding. Or...
I'm gonna say I grew up working on the ranch, and so I happened to cross paths with many a Minotaur in my business.
Fascinating. He stands up and kind of looks at all of you. "I would love to help you, but we've looked into this. He drowned. Kieran has the body. You can examine it if he lets you."
Now, we've already examined...
I'm still saying this in Minotaur.
We've already examined the body and found nothing out of sorts, besides depression on his
You
forehead.
can see he goes and immediately backs up a little bit. "The evil eye."
Yes. Now, I'm a simple man. I've got no interest in...
The tiefling pipes up and goes, "You've said that 3 times now."
It's still true each time.
no interest in the petty local politics of this town. I'm a wanderer. I don't mean to cause no trouble, but I have been hired to investigate this death, and so if there's anything that you could tell us to assist in this, we don't want to be troubling you with anything other than that.
Make a persuasion check.
10?
Can I assist?
Can I
We're all there.
can I have Diego help me?
How is Diego helping you?
Like chirp. A very
We're just here to
pleasant
help
chirp.
finally put the last worry to rest. Of course, it being a difficult situation with his brother, he just wants his own peace of mind. We're here to close that story.
If you ask me, I don't even believe it's Llorona. I think more likely he was drunk and fell into the river.
Make a persuasion check, and make it at advantage now with Lang Rangler's help. Such that it is.
I'm a simple man.
19.
19? You all seem like a nice group, and I would love to help if there was something to help. But we've looked into this.
Just whatever it is you found.
With a 19, there's something about that. You feel like he should be listening to you. There should be something coming of this. And in almost an element of his answer makes you feel like there's something that he's not telling you. But he shakes his head for a second.
Insight and kind of
Go ahead, yeah, make an insight check.
I'm gonna squint too.
Make an insight check. Everybody make an insight check.
23.
3.
My insight's not that good. 14.
14, okay.
I rolled a 4 and my insight's -1.
So you hear from out the doorway this little velociraptor, and you turn and immediately like, wait, what?
I forget we have one of those.
Yeah, not a lot of insight happening. But with a 23,
Tina carrying our party this day.
this day,
On this day.
there's something about this Minotaur, not so much a hesitation to help or anything. There is legitimate concern. He's getting nervous in this line of questioning. This is making him very anxious. And even as you all start to kind of like press in further and talk to him more about this, you've noticed physically he's like backing up a little bit.
Is he like looking at anything or any place in particular in the room while he's doing this, or is he
Just kind of paying attention to whoever's talking at the moment. I would say you see his eyes kind of wandering over to the other two that are in the room every now and then.
Well, if you have no other details to add to the story, I suppose we'll go find them.
I think it might be best if you all spend some time enjoying the jungles around Tula.
Oh, I have. They're quite nice.
Indeed. And then let Kirin know that there is nothing wrong. Help him end this story, as you said.
Now, I've got one question.
Still a Minotaur.
He said that there was previous happenings of a similar incident. Not with his brother, of course, but prior citizens.
Not citizens, visitors, but yes.
Visitors. Now, have you noticed any connection between those incidences with this one? Because I find that kind of strange.
I like you.
I like you too. You seem like an honest Minotaur.
I appreciate that. But
I'm not.
you aren't being hired to look into those deaths. This is very easy for you.
Well, the easiest things aren't always the best.
You can see at this, he kind of looks, and for you now, paying attention with that insight check, he makes this for a moment, very meaningful eye contact with the tiefling who is talking. And you see the tiefling gets up and he's taking a few steps closer to the front door.
Wait, the first tiefling?
Yes. The Minotaur looks and in Minotaur still to you says, "It looks like you're not going to leave without any talking. So maybe once you're done resisting, we can have you set off on your way. We'll try not to go too hard on you." And you hear behind you this
Resist.
and the door shuts. And I need everybody to roll for it.
Oh shit! Oh no! He's outside! He's eating his chicken!
Oh, shit.
Oh no!
Build the whole character around a
Natural
mountain.
20.
When you were building the character, I was thinking about this first encounter, and I was like, oh, but could you try to get this over somewhere where it will make sense for the camera? You all can place yourself roughly where you are. Diego obviously can be outside.
Yeah, I'm having
Can
a
be.
good old-fashioned fucking bar fight with a Minotaur, but I don't have any weapons or... Well, I have my ropes, and I have, I think, like, my hand axe, my
For this.
crossbow. My lances are on Diego.
Diego is. It's like a spoiler for Diego. Oh man. Okay.
He's only, like, right outside, right?
Yeah, so you could put him literally. He's to the left of the door. Yeah,
Okay.
right there.
Okay.
Right there. He's right there. You know.
I'm just gonna... I got a good initiative, so that's okay. I think I'll manage.
I'm so happy because I have a printer, so I have stat blocks. Organized.
I tried it. I broke my one rule: never get off Diego.
And I was thinking
Never
about this.
breaking that rule again.
I was thinking about this as you were like talking about your character.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they're not going to bring it down as we're into a police station, so
Right,
that's
yeah.
gonna suck.
I was like, I'm not gonna bring it into a police station. Now, every time I go to a police station, I'm bringing my dinosaur with me.
That's a good rule of thumb.
All right, anybody natural 20? Nice, look at that. Oh, it's good too. You're going to need that.
Yeah.
So you are Lang
Wrangler.
Rangler. And Diego goes on your initiative, right?
That is correct.
Diego. All right, anybody 25 for 20?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. Dirty 20 is going to be for Aislin. And then what about you?
15.
15. Ooh, okay. 15 for Exora. Ooh, this is an unfortunate series of events for all of you. Okay. So, Lang Rangler, you are starting us off, followed by the Minotaur, followed by the other two elk, followed by Aislin, followed by Exora. That is roughly where you all are, so that's fine. Yeah, we can start right there.
All right.
So, Lang Rangler. what
Door.
do you wanna
This
do?
is the door that just got shut.
Yeah, so that door is now shut.
Is it just like a wooden door?
It's a wooden door, however, it has an iron bar, it's iron banded, so it looks like it's pretty sturdy.
Okay.
Also, the tiefling who's behind the table, if you could move him in front of the door, he's the one that shut it.
He's flanking
Right.
us.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna try to whistle to get Diego to bust down the door and
Okay.
come in here.
So is that your action, commanding Diego to bust down the door?
Yeah, because that would be commanding him to act, right?
Yeah, make an attack roll.
Yeah.
So you shout whatever command it is through the door, you do your whistle. Sure.
Diego!
Here, boy!
And it's his attack. Right?
What is the Harry Potter spell that makes things come to you?
Accio?
Accio Dio!
Accio Diego!
It's his, right?
Yes.
Was he wasn't 30 feet away, so
No.
he doesn't get to pounce the door.
Unless you have a special whistle that's Diego, back up 30 feet, charge, pounce. That's
Yeah. Yeah, we have a whole code.
yeah. Diego, get me a snow cone, but the blue kind.
So that was for him an 18.
An 18. So there's this whistle, and you hear the sound of like a bone clatter on the ground, and then the wood like shreds in before the Diego like backs up and then kicks his way through the door, kind of bursting through. Make an athletics check for Diego because he's gonna have to push past this tiefling.
21.
21.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second here. This tiefling
This is
is
like the one thing.
Menzio. Yeah, so he like as soon as the first comes through the wood, this tiefling jams his back against it, but Diego crashes through. The tiefling stumbles 5 feet forward, and Diego is now inside.
All right.
Daylight streams through.
I'm
Splinters
putting
of
him on
wood
the table.
scatter throughout.
Is he stumbling forward towards me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a bonus action from me. Just give him a good old unarmed punch.
Sure. Go ahead and just punch him in the face.
Because I see where this is going. This is a good old fashioned bar brawl, right?
I mean, it's not a police station. And you definitely see this Minotaur reaching for a huge axe on his back. But yeah,
Okay.
bar brawl.
So I'm gonna punch him, and then I'm gonna use my movement to mount Diego.
Sure. Okay, so go ahead and roll your attack.
That's a 1.
So you roll.
Oh well, I mean the total is.
It's a natural one,
Natural
right?
one. Yeah.
So as you kind of, as he stumbles towards you, Diego like knocking him out of the way, Diego leaps forwards onto the table, and as you go to punch, you step on one of the splinters, slip a little bit, you just punch Diego right in the leg.
No.
You don't deal any damage to Diego, but Diego looks at you with betrayed eyes.
Oh,
I'm sorry, boy.
It's like when
I'm
you
just
stand-
gonna like climb back on him and like pat his neck, be like, "I'm sorry, boy."
He kind of shakes his head, getting your arm away, but he lets you mount him. Anything else on your turn, Lang Rangler?
I guess I'm just gonna get ready to fucking whip out my dual lances to start poking stuff.
That's such a stupid thing, but I love it. Okay, so you get your dual lances ready. Fantastic. It's Jim's turn. So, seeing the dinosaur burst through the door, he reaches back and he pulls out this axe. For you in particular, this axe draws all of your attention to it because you see it is a leather-wrapped metal rod emblazoned with two-headed hummingbird. It just looks like a staff, but you see him twist his hands and suddenly this axe head just bursts, a radiant axe head from the front of it. This is the sign of the Turquoise Lord, and this is a very, clearly a potent artifact of your patron.
oh man.
However, he is going to step forward. Who is right in front of him?
I am,
what?
or kind of split between us is Aislin.
So he is going to charge. Actually, he's going to go ahead and go for Lang because Lang is now on a dinosaur.
Oh,
that's
okay.
On the table.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. So he's going to go ahead and he's going to give you a nice little hit. He's going to take reckless attacks.
Oh, no.
Oh, nice.
And he's only going to get one, actually. That's going to be a 23 to hit.
Ooh, that just hits.
Actually, sorry, 24,
Is he going
25
after
to hit.
me or is he going after Diego?
You.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that is going to be...
I might be dead. This might be a very quick 2-shot.
How much health do you have?
Like 60.
Oh, you'll be fine. You take 20 points of slashing damage. You got good rolls. Plus, where's my D8? I didn't plan this out very well. 6 points of radiant damage. And I need you... Oh, no, never mind. You're fine. So swings this axe, and as it does, the radiant head glares to life, and as it hits you, you feel it's almost like this holy heat rips through your body. And as he pulls it away, the flames withdraw from the wounds, leaving them kind of charred and sizzling. That is his turn. That brings us to the other elks. So first, this tiefling is going to wheel around, and he is going to just start stabbing at Diego, specifically with his daggers. He gets 3 attacks. That is going to be... Oh, go ahead. Oh my god. 18, 19, 19. Roll.
So I think... I'm gonna take some of that damage away with my reaction.
So it's a 26 to hit.
To hit Diego?
Yep.
That hits.
A 25 to hit.
That hits.
And a 25 to hit.
That also hits.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh, man.
Granted, it is with a dagger. So this tiefling like snatches at a dagger and just goes like, what? And just starts stabbing like upwards as this dinosaur pounces over him. That is going to be... Ooh, that sucks. 11 points of piercing damage.
Alright, I'm gonna use my reaction to use my interception fighting style and reduce the damage by 1d10 plus 3.
So he stabs Diego the first time. You hear this grunt from your mount, and as he goes to stab again and again, you take your arm and the armor to kind of absorb most of the damage.
Minus 4
Fantastic.
damage.
That is Menzio the Tiefling. In the very back, you see this lizard man. He is not wearing any armor, kind of cloth tunics. And so as he holds up his hands, you see arcane light begin to gather at his fingertips. He is certainly a spellcaster. He is going to step onto the table, actually, right in front of you. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
This is fantastic positioning. Thanks, guys.
I have an aura, by the way.
What kind of aura do you have?
I have the aura of protection.
Okay, good to know.
Just FYI.
Tell them what that does, because that's relevant
Sure.
to them.
So whenever me or an ally within 10 feet of me makes a saving throw, you're always going to add my +3 to that roll.
Okay. That's good.
So, you see this arcane light begin to gather at his fingertips. Do you still have Detect Magic up, by the way?
No, it only lasts 10 minutes, and that was a very long time ago.
Okay, so you can see this arcane light begin to gather at his fingertips, this cold glow cast across the scales. And as he holds his hands out, there is a cone of cold that erupts across the room. It strikes all of you. It hits Diego and all of you, kind of creating an ice burst across, hits those crates, hits everything on that side of the room.
Diego has evasion.
This is not a dexterity
dexterity.
save, fortunately.
Okay. Damn.
This... Ooh. Constitution saving throw, please, for everybody.
Oh, man.
So +3,
+3.
everybody,
That's nice. That's very helpful.
because you're all within 10 feet of me.
Oh, the damage is not nice either.
All right.
25.
25? Okay.
23.
22 for me, and I have to see what Diego's got here for con saves. Ooh, 19.
All of you pass, which means each of you takes 15 points of cold damage. As this cold energy washes over all of you, you can feel your joints begin to freeze. You can feel the moisture in your eyes begin to crystallize. And you would imagine any creature killed in this manner, probably frozen almost solid. But as you move, you manage to break the ice crystals and continue moving forward. That is his action. That's all he's going to do. That brings us to Aislin. Exora, you are on deck. Aislin, what do you want to do?
No, I'm casting Hold Person on the Minotaur.
On the Minotaur. Okay.
Basically, just a wisdom save on his prepared.
What DC?
16.
16. That is going to be a 19.
Close.
And so you see the mad eyes of this Minotaur dart towards you for a second and kind of squint, confused, before turning to continue to look at Lang Rangler.
As a bonus action, I am then going to use my face step
Okay.
and try to target. Position myself within 10 feet of the Minotaur and the guy who cast the spell.
Okay. So you just kind of step for a moment, and it seems like you almost... There is this burst. What season are you to start, by the way?
Autumn.
Autumn? So this burst of autumn-colored leaves that seems to almost take your place for a moment, and as it clears away, you're standing 10 feet further away.
And the two of them need to make a wisdom saving throw. DC 16.
The Minotaur and the guy? Okay. For the Minotaur, that is going to be a 15.
That is going to fail.
That is unfortunate. And for the Lizard Man, that is going to be an 18.
That'll succeed.
Okay.
The Minotaur is charmed by me for 1 minute.
Charmed by you for 1 minute. Can you put this on, just drape it
Sure.
on the Minotaur? Okay. So you step forward, and as you disappear, these autumn leaves swirl around, and they seem to settle on the horns, the head, the feet of this Minotaur. And for a moment, though his eyes are angry and gazing at you, Lang Rangler, he does seem to kind of like just blink something away. Okay, fantastic. Anything else? All right. Aislin, you just appear on the other side. Exora, you see this burst of fall-colored leaves. You see a velociraptor jump onto a table. What are you doing?
I'm gonna use my bonus action to take out my shield. This mosaic mirror on a shield pattern, and then I'm just gonna take 2 attacks against the cold lizard boy.
Sure. So you pull out the shield, and as you do, the torchlight in the corners of the room suddenly creates a disco ball-like effect that strobes around. For some, you can see Diego, like, gets very confused, snaps at some of these little lights at first, but go ahead and make your attacks.
13 plus 6 is 19 for the first
And
one.
these are against who?
They're gonna be against Lizard Boy.
Against Lizard Boy. Okay.
Yeah,
that hits.
Holy Man is breaking his vows, but I want to talk him out of it.
That hits.
And then the second hit is 10.
That misses, unfortunately.
So the first one is gonna be 5 plus 5, which is 10 damage.
10 damage? Nice. Okay.
Yes.
So this mirror shield comes out. This burst of colorful lights. You swing forward again, and your weapon is a...
My weapon is a long sword. I'm gonna do it one-handed.
Okay.
And I'm gonna throw a Divine Smite on top of it with a first level spell slot.
Okay, yeah.
And that adds 2... Oh, he's kind of squishy. That was dumb. Oh, well. 8, nice, plus 2, so 10 more damage.
Nice. So you swing once, and there's this little cut across the tunic. You see instantly this crimson blood begin to stain it. He hisses, and as your sword goes up, it begins to glow with light, and you pull it back again. This time as it pulls across, the clothing kind of burns away from the wound itself. That is a lot of damage. He's looking kind of hurt.
Does he happen to be undead or fiend?
From that hit, it doesn't seem to react in a way that would give you that information now.
Okay.
Anything else, Exora?
No, I'm just gonna flick my hair because I'm basking in this autumn glow.
So he hissing, and you just flick your hair, having this pretty girl moment.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Gorgeous, gorgeous girls.
That brings us to the top of the round. Lang Rangler, from your perspective now, this Minotaur swoons for a little bit as your Eladrin companion teleports. All of a sudden, there are sparkling mirror lights everywhere. And you can see now, in the middle of this combat, this satyr swinging there's 2 glowing blades now swinging around.
I'm going to go, here! And have Diego run back out.
Okay.
I'm still on him now, too. And I'm going to cure wounds on Diego. Having him disengage.
Okay, sure.
So that
you use your action, you go, yeah, to disengage.
Well, I can command him to do that, and then I use my cure wounds as my action.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you're using free action.
Free action to command him to move and disengage.
Diego jumps off, lands, the talon skittering on the ground before scratching his way out through the doorway. He scratches across the cobblestones. People are running by now.
I'm going about 30 feet away.
Oh, okay. So you go about 30 feet away. The talons scrape on the cobblestones. There are people running back and forth. You lay your head. What does it look like when you cast Cure Wounds?
I'm just kind of petting his side, there, boy.
And as you do, it's really just rubbing some dirt in the wounds, and as it gets across the scales, it seeps into the sapphire, almost glistening, beautiful gem-like plates, and it seems to heal. Go ahead and roll healing for that.
Nice. All right, so that's plus 6.
Okay, anything else?
Cool. I guess I'm gonna get my lances out and be ready to go on the next round.
Okay,
but that's it.
These 2 huge
Well, they're
lances.
on the sides of Diego.
Did you get off Diego?
No, I'm still on.
So I'm imagining it's almost like
I'm just
frost.
kind of
Fantastic.
from the
You
side.
do a little whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
As you pull them out, your halfling form sways dangerously back in the saddle before you come back forwards. But you are ready to go. Fantastic. That is your turn. It is now Jim's turn. He reaches down kind of towards you and just pushes you out of the way. Step aside, little one. He lumbers forwards towards you.
I've got my shield out now.
You do have your shield up now. However, he is going to hold this axe almost point blank directly in your face, and you see the head of the axe begin to glow brighter and brighter, the radiant axe head beginning to focus, and there is a beam of sunlight, almost raw sunlight, that erupts out. It is going to hit you. Because he is charmed, he is purposely doing it to avoid you, so you are not being hit. Now, I believe, let me just look, just by coincidence and the way that this works. I think, Matthew, it is a 60-foot long line. So you and Diego are going to get by this.
Are you serious? Oh my god.
Oh, man.
It's true.
I might actually die.
Make a Constitution saving throw, both of you.
Is it against magic?
This is magic, yes.
Satyrs have, I forgot to do this last time, but it doesn't really matter, magical resistance just by being magical creatures. So,
Fey creatures typically, yeah.
yes.
Do I also need to make one for Diego?
Yes, you do.
Oh my god.
This was charisma?
This is.
Oh, natural one.
Oh
I'm sure
no!
he'll be fine.
18.
He might be dead. I think he's
18
dead.
saves. So as this burst comes out, he goes, "Step aside, little one," and very gingerly, like, pushes you to the side, making sure you don't get hit. He puts this axe down. It bursts out this sunbeam that deals 30 points of damage, radiant damage to Diego.
He's dead.
15 points to those of you who succeeded.
Diego's dead.
Diego,
That's it. That's it.
for a brief moment, as Diego squeals out, you see the eyes go blind as he drops to the ground, dead. Sorry about that. That was unfortunate that you took that, that straight path.
No!
Diego lets out a final little
Well,
before falling to the ground.
this character is useless now.
But Ishjin pulls the axe back, and you see no axe head, but as he squeezes it again, it flares to life, ready to go. That is his turn. It is the other two elks. They are now focusing on you.
Good luck. You can't look at me.
This lizard man holds onto this wound, and you see all of a sudden the scales shift and become invisible, and then the face just... And he's invisible as far as you could tell. If you could just put this around him, you don't really know
What? So is he moving out of my? Do I get the sense that he's moving out of my range?
Not yet.
When he does, I would like to think about that.
I don't believe you, unless you have a way of sensing him magically or otherwise, you would get an attack of opportunity as you cannot see him.
I thought I could take one at disadvantage.
That's usually you can take an attack if you know where somebody is. I don't think you can get an attack of opportunity on an invisible creature, unfortunately. I'll look it up later, but I don't think...
It's all good.
However...
Just fuck that guy.
That is what he does. The other guy, seeing this dinosaur go by, this kind of burst of light, he is going to step forward behind you.
Yeah.
He is going to jab you 3 times with the dagger. First one is only going to be a 16.
Misses with my shield, blocking
Second one is going to be a 26.
Hits.
They're doing really well. And the last one's going to be a 14.
Mrs. Mid.
So you are going to take a grand total of 5 points of piercing damage. This dagger barely makes it into this little joint in your armor. He pulls away. You see a smile on his face. He feels pretty satisfied with that. That is his turn. Aislin, what do you want to do? Exora, you are on deck.
Can I see Lang from where I am?
From this moment, yeah, you can kind of turn from where the Minotaur pushed you to, and you see Lang now stooping over the body, steaming of this dead velociraptor.
I assume you don't look particularly
I'm
healthy.
devastated. Utterly just like...
Okay, we'll get back to that. This lizard guy, I'm gonna cast Frostbite.
Frostbite, okay.
Just kind of pull fingers down and just have this bolt of ice.
The lizard guy, you're talking about the one that's invisible?
Oh, he's invisible.
He is.
Yeah.
Tiefling then.
Okay, sure. That's a dex save?
It's a Constitution save.
Constitution save. Oh, well, that's not good. 6.
Yeah, no.
That's his better save, too. Oh, gosh.
That is 2 points of cold damage.
Okay.
He has disadvantage on his next weapon attack.
Fantastic. Could you put this on the tiefling? Thank you.
And then I'm going to use my Balm of Ascendant Court on Lang, because I assume you don't look particularly healthy.
Does it need to be touched, the
It
bomb?
does not.
Okay.
It is 120 foot range.
Damn, okay.
Does Diego make death saving throws?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh!
He's an animal companion. Of course he does. Well, how much health does he have total?
He has
15?
28.
Yeah, then no, he's dead.
He's just dead.
That's
He did-
That's double damage for the total health.
But it was 30, and I
It was 30
healed.
flat.
And I had healed.
Did you negate part of it?
Well, I had healed some of the cure wounds.
Right, but he had his sunbeam was 30 points of damage straight.
Right.
And he
it was-
failed.
And I took 30 damage. Right?
Did
Right.
you take it from Diego?
No, I'm saying Diego took 30 damage.
Right.
Right.
If he takes more than twice as much damage as he has health.
But he has 28 health.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. So
Yeah.
then yes, he's
Okay.
unconscious.
I was like, wait a second.
He's unconscious.
28 is not.
You're okay. He's unconscious. I misunderstood.
Okay. That is 12 points of health back to you, plus 3 temporary HP.
Okay, 12
All of
to
a sudden,
me.
as you mourn the loss of
I
your
would rather
of your
be
pet,
dead.
you feel this gentle breeze, and you smell all the smells of like petrichor and rain,
12 actual HP and 3 temporary.
and you feel across your body these small leaves and vines begin to grow, providing almost this small layer of temporary armor. But that is your turn. Anything else, Aislin?
That's it.
Exora, what would you like to do? Lang, you're on deck.
I'm not looking the best, but all my healing is in a full action, and I could be spending that on attacks. So I'm going to turn my back to the Minotaur and kind of like hide behind the person who's charmed him,
Okay.
and just hide there.
So that is going to pull you out of his attack range. So he is going to get an attack of opportunity.
Okay, I already said it. I did it.
That's a natural 20. Luckily, he's already used his biggest abilities. However,
Oh, shit.
that is still going to be 15 points of slashing damage. Oh, doubled. So sorry.
It's such a...
Oh, doubled.
26 points of
I'm
slashing
down.
damage. Damn.
Oh, man. We
I
might
go down.
As he
gonna be
thumps you down on the ground.
TPK.
Yeah, damn. They have rolled unbelievably good. So all of a sudden, you watch as this axe flares to life again, and then just strikes the paladin. The paladin swirls and falls to the ground. This mirror-like light that has been flashing from the shield just goes dark.
I thought he said he wasn't going to be too hard on us. He's killing us.
I mean, yeah, you guys gotta. You drew weapons in a police
Murder?
station.
I mean, hey,
He's literally been
they
like
drew first.
corrupted. Yeah,
Exora,
Minotaur
it's
shot
your turn.
first.
Lang Rangler, what are you doing? You see this Minotaur just cleave the paladin down.
Free action sobbing over Diego's lifeless body and I guess trying to stabilize him,
Okay.
right?
What I will say,
I don't know
seeing
what to
this,
do in this situation.
I will say, seeing this,
Lang Rangler just lost his
this dice
security
rolled 2
blanket.
natural 20, so I'm not going to have that keep going. But what I will say is Jonathan is going to run over to your dinosaur, mostly to you, seeing you hurt.
Ah!
He's going to reach into his pocket and pull out a small glass bottle with this red potion. Takes out the cork and hands it to you. It's a healing potion, please.
I'm gonna pour it down.
You see him go, no. But you pour it into this, roll a d4.
Pouring it into Diego. Come on, Diego. 3.
He comes back with 6 points of health.
Woo!
As you drop this potion into Diego's mouth, there's this brief kind of choking, and then suddenly he coughs and comes to life.
Come on, boy. There you go. There you go.
Eyes open,
Oh, it's okay.
pupils dilate.
It's okay.
I'm just gonna I'm hugging him on the ground. I think that's it.
Jonathan's just like, that was meant for you, but you hug him on the ground. That's your turn.
I guess now that he's up, I'm gonna have him kind of move a little out of the way so we can recover outside of the
That's
line
a
of...
great idea. Fantastic. You pull yourself
I was
up
just
the
trying to
side.
leave. I'm not trying to get in trouble with the law.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Bullshit. They killed my dinosaur.
So on his turn, Eastream is going to turn and, still charmed, look at you. What should I do with it?
With it?
He reaches down. Yeah, he's just gonna pick up the satyr by the ankle and just lift up the body.
Very carefully on the
takes his movement over to that table, 5 feet, and just drops the body on the table.
Cure wounds.
So that we'll get back to that on your turn. But that's Itzshim's turn. It is the other two elks' turn. You can pull the one... Tina, what's your passive perception?
18.
So you hear footsteps, and then the door in the back you see just open and shut. You'd imagine the invisible creature off in that direction. Actually, you would see him become visible as he interacts with the door. So he is now visible and off in that section. This tiefling... he's going to be very confused. So he looks up, looks at the Minotaur, looks at you, watches the Minotaur carry this person over. He holds the dagger, and he's just going to hold his action, not really sure what to do. That is his turn. That brings us to Aislin.
Cure wounds.
Okay, go ahead and cast your wounds.
That's a D8, is that right?
Oh, I don't have it. I don't have that spell. No healing spells for the paladin.
Paladins are supposed to have healing spells. It's 1d8 plus your spellcasting modifier.
It's 12.
Nice. I'll take it.
Anything else, Aislin?
Shh. It's okay. It's been so nice meeting you. We're just gonna take our leave.
Okay, we'll get back to that.
And start moving to the door.
Okay, you can take your full movement towards the door. He's not going to stop you. So if you want to put Tina's Aislin 5 more feet out. Exora, you come to life on the table, and looking to your right, you see Istrium still holding this glowing axe that just knocked you unconscious, just kind of watching as your Eladrin friend just walks away. The tiefling, you can see, like, kind of holds the dagger towards Aislin, but then pulls it back as the Minotaur just seems to be letting her walk away. What would you like to do?
I will pump 30 lay on hands into myself, and hop off the table with a clippa-cloppa and sidle around the tiefling, kind of like really making it as awkward as possible, like kind of getting in his space more than I ought to, considering I'm very close to death.
As you pass by the Minotaur, he growls at you. There's this low, like...
I'm gonna growl back.
You can hear the hand, like, onto the axe. But,
I want that axe.
As he is currently charmed, he lets you walk by. And you make your way out the front door.
What can I...
All of you now are out in the front. Jonathan is pale and sweating. He gets over and goes, "So we've attacked the police, and we probably should be going."
They attacked us!
We should probably...
Bunch of no good, rotten scoundrels. Police, I don't think they're police at all.
Jonathan begins to run south, kind of in the direction of the jungle beyond the town. What are you guys doing? There is a very large crowd gathered around the outside, and you are still technically in initiative. You'd imagine, how long does that charm last?
A minute.
Probably not a whole lot longer. So what are you all doing?
We have to turn the narrative.
I'm gonna, well, I mean, the narrative is my raptor is laying on the ground dying because these terrible hooligans attacked him unnecessarily.
The police are corrupt! Oh no!
Police!
Corrupt police!
Those no good, rotten scoundrels, but they're bad. They're bad people.
Letting you die in the streets on the hands of beasts!
Okay. Either one of you make a persuasion check at advantage, a deception check at advantage.
I'm not
deceiving. They attacked us.
deceptive.
Make a
They're
persuasion.
no good, rotten
Either
scoundrels.
One of you make a persuasion check at advantage, or both of you make a flat persuasion check, and we'll take the higher of the two.
Well, I have 0,
6.
so mine's a
Charisma.
Little metagame.
I'm not even upset. Like
17.
17. Okay.
I don't even.
The crowd is getting angry, and you can hear this gathered group, the velociraptor now, kind of like snapping at people who draw back. But because it is 10 o'clock, this is where we're going to take our break. In a very interesting place, because This isn't how I thought it was going to go.
Not how I thought it was going to
Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna die.
I didn't think both of us are going to... Well, Lang Rangler was fine, but really, it's all about Diego.
So, thank you guys for hanging out with us so far for this little two-part adventure. We are going to step away for 15 minutes. It is 10:05. We'll be back at 10:20. We'll see you then. And welcome back to the Home of Adventures in Alberon, although we are playing the first session of a two-part adventure. Thank you, Ari, for joining us for this little jaunt into Tenoch, the mesoamerica-inspired setting. So jumping back into our game.
Corruption!
Oh, no!
Had decided in your initial investigation of this missing person, this person who is killed. The very first step was to go into the police station and push them to the point of beginning an armed conflict. Magic was used. Somebody turned invisible. There was a massive sunbeam that nearly burnt your velociraptor Diego to a crisp. But with a very clever use of a charm-like ability from your Eladrin friend, you were able to get this Minotaur to, at the very least, hold off on hostilities. Enough for you all to escape the building. You don't all stand outside. Lang Rangler, you overtop your fallen mount. But as a group now outside, you have a crowd around you. Just a moment here.
Like, oh, you're okay.
So, let me find my Tenoch thing here.
This sounds like something that's been, heating up under the surface for a while. These people seem pretty pissed.
Well, right, like, it only matters if you live here, but if you're a visitor and you die, they're like, it's okay. It's fine. You can drown. It's all good.
There's less paperwork. So now you guys all outside of this police station, a group of people gathered around angry. What are you all doing?
I'm helping Diego back up now and making sure he's okay. Cure wounds again.
Fantastic. Go ahead and cast a little bit more healing on your dinosaur. He claws his way back up to his feet and kind of nuzzles against you as you do.
Alright, 7. He's back to 13 health.
Fantastic. As you all begin to rally with your chance of corruption and that kind of a thing, Aislin, you feel the charm effect kind of give way, and behind all of you, you see this Minotaur blink a few times and shake his head. He looks through the door and sees just a huge crowd of people angrily shouting. He steps up to the door, just kind of... The shouts intensify, and you can see him doing a little bit of mental math really quick. But he is going to turn to the most reasonable of all of you, which is the Eladrin. Come inside.
You're gonna die.
I have your word that we're just going to talk.
He takes the axe, and you see this radiant head just die down, and he sticks the kind of long wooden haft against his back. Okay.
I'm still I'm hugging Diego. I'm glad he's okay, getting him back up, and still sobbing.
Okay.
It's been an emotional 5 seconds.
Yeah,
10
absolutely.
seconds of he died, he's back. Wow.
Wow.
What about you, Exora?
I'm gonna keep this crowd now that I've got the attention here, and start getting stories, really passionate testimonials of all the things that these police have done wrong, standing outside here and just being just going from person to person, being tell me all your misfortunes, and really making sure that they stay fired up for whatever happens.
Make a
inside.
general charisma check.
Oh, gladly.
Make it an advantage.
Gladly.
You definitely have this crowd. You can see people angry now, wanting to be angry. You've gotten the momentum emotionally to a point where you can kind of carry them pretty easily. 18. You go up to this old lady, almost no teeth in her mouth. You can see wearing this kind of a head wrap of golds and reds. She goes up and she'll just kind of say, "They take my eggs every morning. They say they don't, but they do." And somebody else goes, "Yeah, they take my vegetables every week." And there's another person who just kind of throws this little glass thing, shatters against the window. On the inside, you, the Eladrin, you can see the Minotaur kind of wince to the side. He's going to look down at you. You need to get your friends inside. This is getting out of hand.
It is. And I will. But what was all that about?
He turns to the tiefling. Menzio, wait outside. Deal with the crowd. And the tiefling, still holding his dagger, like this whole time, not sure what's going on. Just,
Big smile at him.
right away, sir. And he just kind of goes back, sheathes his dagger. For you and for you out in the crowd, now you, like, getting people up. As soon as he goes out, there's just boo, boo. People start throwing stuff.
That son of a bitch stabbed Diego!
Make a deception check.
But he did stab Diego.
Kinda. He tried to stab you, and you took the damage. I wouldn't say that he really stabbed Diego.
He stabbed you.
He stabbed me.
You still got the wound. You're bleeding from it.
Make a persuasion check, sure.
17.
17. That people look at this dinosaur. There's a moment where, like, if this was a Disney movie, the camera zooms through the crowd to Diego. This violin starts playing. Diego's lip just trembles a little bit. The crowd just starts, like, it becomes even louder. And all of a sudden, you know, those things begin to get thrown. This guy, like, shields himself, and he's just going, please, everybody calm down. Something shatters. He begins to kind of run off, and a section of the crowd begins to chase him down an alleyway.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, dope.
He is now being chased down through town, back towards the marketplace. You see the Minotaur just kind of... Can you get your friends, please?
Walk back over to the door.
And you can see, in the meantime, he walks over and he's like... pulls one of the tables out and, like, kind of begins to yank some stools and make a little, like, a seating area. Are you all entering?
I will open the door. You're needed inside.
Inside!
Yes.
You expect me to go back inside where I just witnessed my best friend
Or
get
exit
shot?
down. No choice.
Well, I think we maybe should be heading off and looking at the next... I'm not working for that Minotaur. I'm working for the...
But we have a chance to take him down grab him from the pedestal.
I'm a simple man.
Last chance.
I'm gonna go in.
I'll wait outside.
Keep the crowd going. They're really angry. Keep being sad here. It's good for optics.
I would reach
Optics.
out after the synergy grab and pull him in.
Okay. Are you resisting?
I'm arguing right now. I'm like,
What does optics mean? My friend just died.
Good optics,
All
yeah.
of a sudden, there's a surprisingly firm hand, and then you're yanked inside.
Door shut.
it's because I'm a half.
Door shuts and the crowd dies down behind you. You see now
Undignified.
this Minotaur
Your choice.
sitting at the head of this table, kind of like at a weird little angle, but he gestures. There are like 4 or 5 stools, 1 barrel kind of around the table. For the moment, it is just the 4 of you, including Diego, who I'm assuming kind of fought, like stumbled
Oh yeah,
after you.
I'm bringing him in this time. I'm like,
Yeah.
Come with me.
All of you now within, you can see this Minotaur still breathing a little bit heavily. Eyes very much kind of glaring at you.
I'm going in and I'm climbing onto the barrel, but I'm like being real loud about it, and then I'm stepping down like
Okay.
I'm keeping the gaze. He's staring. I'm staring right back. I'm just
For now.
rolling up another pipe leaf, tobacco, little cigar thing.
For now, we all will listen to what the other has to say. Agreed? Now, what was all that?
It was stupid.
I'll see.
He glares at you again. When I first got here, when I was a young elk, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know the situations in this town. I fell for a young woman, a beautiful Shira. She took notice of me. I didn't know that she was married. She was very forward. We became intimate many times. Then she told me that she was married. I could not continue such an affair, and broke it off. Shira was heartbroken, and in her grief did something far beyond what I could ever expect of her. She drowned her husband in the river, south of town, and came to me to tell me we could finally be together. I was horrified, as you would imagine, but still, I couldn't bring myself to arrest her. So I went to Bruja Tortuga in the forest. There, I had her place a curse on Shira. I think something has happened to her as a result.
What kind of curse?
I told her what Shira had done, and she cursed her to remain in this plane, split from her spirit and body, much as her husband had been. You would need to ask Bruja Tortuga for the specifics, but she passed many years ago. I don't think that will be an obstacle for all of you. And he looks at you in particular.
I'm sure we could find a way.
You remind me of her.
Of Shira?
Of Bruja Tortuga.
Oh. Perhaps she's like me.
She was, in many ways. She followed the dreams.
The dreams. They're nice most of the time.
If you wish to talk to her spirit, she is in the forest south of here. It is dangerous.
Then that's where we're going.
Well, alright then.
So the curse was a better option than arresting her? What was your intention with the curse? Just because you were sad about the drowning?
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. 16.
I was young, and bringing her in would lead to questions. You'll notice that we are the only people in this room. There is a reason for that.
It could stand to benefit all of us if we take care of this mythical creature. Can leave many other options available.
Well, it appears this mythical creature is related to our already accepted job.
But if we create the story for the townspeople that we have taken care of the mythological creature, we can do whatever else we wish.
I don't care about none of that. I just want to get the job done.
You understand.
He turns to you and goes, "He is a simple man."
I'm a super right.
I get you. Optics. I'm there.
What is this optic? I don't.
It's all about creating narratives for the simple man.
I got optics right here.
Yeah.
That's all the optics I need.
Great.
We have an opportunity. We will help take care of this, and we will do so in a relatively quiet manner.
But
what?
All I care is safe passage. I do like coming through here from time to time.
And your magical axe. Might be a nifty
You almost killed
assistance.
my best
make a
friend.
persuasion check. Make it at advantage as this little halfling pulls himself up to his full height.
Can I say it in Minotaur too? So like,
26!
cutting in at him.
I will lend you my axe. I see that you follow the Turquoise Lord.
I do.
On his name, swear to return it.
I swear on the Turquoise Lord to return your axe to you after the job is done.
He reaches behind him and pulls out this haft. You can see this item takes the form of a leather-wrapped metal rod emblazoned with the two-headed hummingbird symbol of the Turquoise Lord. While grasping the rod, you can use a bonus action to cause a great axe head of crackling radiance to spring into existence. The great axe radiant head emits bright light in a 15-foot radius and dim light for an additional 15 feet. The light is considered sunlight. You can use an action to make the radiant axe head disappear. There are additional rules for you there. It does require attunement. You can bypass the hour attunement rule, as this is a relatively brief adventure.
As we're walking along.
As you're walking along, sure.
Attuned. You get a notification.
Remember,
Bing.
I am lending that to you.
One more thing.
I'm saying this all in Minotaur again.
Okay.
Apologize to Diego.
He turns. The raptor.
That's right.
Make a persuasion check.
14.
No.
And I'm going to say,
Well, I thought I liked you, but maybe I was wrong.
I'm going to scooch off of the barrel. Probably fall like a foot down.
You have to catch yourself. You're holding off the side and reaching with your toes. Sure. You lower yourself to the ground.
And then I take Diego and I go out.
I'll be waiting outside.
The young very rarely do what they're told.
He turns and kind of says, I appreciate your discretion.
Of course.
Have fun with the crowd outside. We'll see you later. I'm going to the South Forest with my companion and friends.
He kind of nods. He stands up, scrapes this thing away, and he begins to kind of put chairs back, I guess. Are you guys all exiting?
The back door.
Okay.
I just incited this crowd. I'm not going to face it.
There isn't a back door. So the back door, if you were to approach it, very clearly labeled as a cell. So you're probably going to have to go out the front door. That being said, as the door opens, you see Diego walk out. A good amount of the crowd you can see way across the kind of square that has these stone tables all set up where the kids were playing. And you can see now climbed up to the very top of the tree with these beautiful little trumpet-like flowers coming off. The tiefling with the crowd, most of the crowd, surrounding him. People are throwing shoes, rocks, there's little bits of fruit going up there at him. But most of the crowd is now dispersed. Well, moved.
Nice. Stealth away down the alley southwardsly.
Sure.
I'm saddling up.
You swing a foot around, and Diego ducks down to allow you on. And you guys can make your way south, no problem.
Do we find Jonathan on the way?
Yeah, Jonathan's outside kind of waiting for you. So as soon as you get there, Jonathan does the half hustle step and catches up and just, where are we going now?
The South Forest.
The South Forest. I think probably my time with you is ended. That is a dangerous place. The Pishtaco have now started sort of frequenting that area, and that's not for me. So,
The Brished Tacos?
Pishtaco.
What's-
I've heard of these creatures. Surely.
Of course.
Make a nature or Arcana check, your choice. Or history, actually.
Oh, it's all the same. It's all 0. But it's 18.
18.
Yeah.
Nice.
You have heard tales of Pishtaco as you are a cleric. These are undead creatures, pale humanoids that suck the fat out of the living to nourish themselves and grow stronger. They're pretty easy to tell because they smell pretty bad. They smell like old fat. With an 18, you know that they're typically pretty flammable, as they're 90% just covered in this,
Right.
humanoid lard, essentially. You've never seen one. They're not supposed to live around here. They do live in the mountains, typically. That's what you'd know.
Okay. I convey all of that, rubbing it in his face, and of course I know what they are, because he questioned me. Okay, then whether you can just let Corinne know that we're taking care of it.
Happily. And when you do return, if you could bring any sort of proof. I will not be going with you, obviously. So if you do kill Llorona, please just bring something back. I trust all of you. You seem very trustworthy, especially you, a paladin.
Of course.
So, best of luck. And he kind of takes a couple steps back and turns. And
All right, Johnny. That's it. That's all I'm giving him.
So you all begin to make your way through town. Is there anything that you guys want to do in town before you head off? Pick
up Molotov cocktails.
Molotov cocktails.
Yes.
Okay. Make a survival check. You have not been to this town before, but I'm sure you could probably...
Oh, jeez. Oh.
Oh,
nice. 18.
18?
Yeah. It's a -1, so, like...
As you make your way back towards the center of town and then begin to travel further south, you take some time to stop at that little market that you had stopped at before. Most of the turkeys now sold. There's only 2 left. There is a table where somebody is selling bone needles and thread. There are these huge stone jars that have these little like taps in them, and you can see them filling these little clay cups of some kind of a clear liquid. Even from 15 feet away, you smell like moonshine, probably flammable. From this stall and from the stall selling like little bits of scraps of cloth and things, this little gnomish woman. If you, what did you roll? You said 18?
18.
For 5 silver, if you would like, there are 6 of these. You could create up to 6 for 5 silver apiece. As many as you would like.
Great. I will create 6, give 2 to each of us, and buy a turkey.
Okay. Turning around to buy the turkey. A turkey is 1 gold piece. They're relatively expensive.
Do I have that?
You would have 10 gold to start.
Great.
So yeah, sure.
Beautiful. Then I will buy a turkey.
Okay.
And I will give it to...
I don't have a turkey, but that's it's an owl.
I will give it to Lang and Diego and say, I don't know if you want to keep this as a backup mount or as a snack.
Kind of you.
But I saw how sad you were.
Hand it to Diego while she's saying it.
You can see Diego, the mouth opens, the tongue kind of lolls out, almost like venom. You see like this little
Mighty
bit
kind of
like,
you. He's
saliva.
been through a lot.
He has been, and
He just does this little like, and then just right in the throat. There's this like loud shriek. People kind of back up for a little bit. Feathers go everywhere for a second.
I'll pluck a feather and stick it in my hair between my horns just to commemorate.
Yeah, people are horrified, but that happens. Diego now just biting down on this creature. Blood, feathers all over the face when he pulls away. But he seems pretty happy.
That's good.
Food always makes me feel better when I nearly die.
Yeah. So people screaming in the background. As you...
Can I have a short rest? How long are we trying to...
I can try to short rest in the saddle as you're going.
I think I want to, like, give Diego, like, a little bit of time to eat and, you know, rest up a little. Because if we're going into combat in dangerous territory...
Yeah, is there anything else we want to buy in the city? Anything?
Med kits. Traps.
Oh yeah, I'm tapped of I no longer can heal
Is there
or
like
anything.
a trapper or anything we can...
A trapper.
Yeah, like a magical trapper.
Magical trapper.
Probably Jonathan would have been the person to ask about that before you kind of fucked off. But as far as you know, you haven't seen anything like that. There's this guy who's selling turkeys who is now looking horrified at you. You can see he's like standing in front of his lone remaining turkey behind the fence. Probably the closest thing to a trapper you've seen. This is so the Jaguar Valley is a place renowned for growing spices. It is not really like a hunting place.
Should have put some spice on the turkey.
Especially considering, real dinosaurs live here. Like the things that you would hunt are much bigger than you. So, a little bit more of a vegetable bend to these people. That being said, you have not seen a trapper.
Well,
Enjoy a few rays of sunshine and then head on down.
suppose I'm not versed in the magical abilities of spirits taken from bodies, so I wouldn't know what to gather.
The games will show us.
Yeah, I sort of innately have that.
Are the dreams
Ability.
related to the optics?
Very curious question. No, but yes.
A very curious answer.
Like really deep in thought right now.
You can see Diego's head kind of turns, like he's thinking too. Oftentimes when you look at Diego and you look at, Lang Rangler, you can see when Lang does something, Diego does like a close approximation to it, to the best of a dinosaur's ability. You guys continue to walk and you make your way out of town.
I pat you on the head.
You can mark off a short rest if you would like. That puts you guys at right around 1 o'clock. The sun passes overhead.
It was high noon an hour ago. And put on your inventory the cocktails.
For that last hour, I was just staring up. It's happened.
Little tumbleweed sound. You make your way out of town, crossing over a small bridge that goes over the river that wraps along the western edge of this town and kind of passes north. Very close, maybe 50 feet away from the bridge, the jungle line begins. Just little copses of trees at first, mostly palms. They dot the grassy landscape, but as you get maybe 100, 200 feet in, these sticky creosote bushes begin to kind of grow closer and closer together. While you were resting, as it often happens here in Tenoch, there was a brief kind of rain shower, and so as that kind of clears away, the sun again overhead burning the little bits of clouds very quickly away. There is this beautiful scent of petrichor that comes off the creosote, releases this almost fresh rain scent. That smell twists amongst the smell of other vegetation and warm sun, and it is a very pleasant walk. Large ferns, broadleaf aloe, other grasses crowd closer and closer together. Here and there, you do see some clearings and some game trails that make the going easier. This jungle, give me 1 second here. Is very much alive. And so you hear wildlife of all kinds kind of here in this jungle. Sorry. Gotta make these birds a little less loud. As you guys are walking, what is your marching order?
I'll go first
Okay.
with my shield out
Okay.
and my new axe in hand.
Second, probably.
Okay. Second is
guess-
Aislin.
I guess I'm just gonna chill in the back with Diego.
Once we get out of the city, I am going to use my wild companion and summon a fey hawk.
A fey
Creature
hawk.
that's in the shape of a hawk.
Sure.
Diego's
So-
like,
Yeah, you can take that.
tasty.
Now the turkey's done. This fey hawk appears, and as it happens, you see Diego kind of just go, and the eyes.
I kind of like bob him on the head and say,
That one's not for eating.
Tastes like glitter.
But yeah, you can see this hawk. In this sunlight, it shimmers with almost an emerald cast to it. Quite beautiful. You guys continue to walk.
I'll use like.
Overhead.
Make a perception check if you want to look through the hawk's
Yes,
eyes.
I
Oh, nice.
He also has a gauge. 21.
21. You close your eyes, and for the two of you, even as this Eladrin walks along, suddenly the eyes shift from their original glowing color to this emerald sheen that matches the fey creature. You can see over top the crowded jungle getting thicker and thicker together as you move forward. Maybe an hour away, you see an element of a clearing. You can see over thick grown elements of coconut trees and areas where here and there are like little ruins that kind of pop up amongst the very close canopy. You see little, small little sand-colored monkey-like creatures that kind of swing from tree to tree. You see all kinds of different birds. Here and there you see collared doves, hooded orioles, even the odd Tenochian woodpecker. But about an hour away you see a little bit of a clearing and a sandstone-like structure, ruins really, overgrown with bits of moss. Ferns kind of popped up here and there, but it is the most mindfully cleared area. And thinking about the directions that you were given, probably the former home of Bruja Tortuga, the spirit of the entity of which you are currently on your way to see.
That's the direction I am heading.
Sure, you guys kind of deviate just slightly. You notice some other creatures around. You see hummingbirds. You see, as you're walking at one point, as you step over this little rotten out log, the log rattles, and this little armadillo kind of waddles out, and seeing you just tucks into a ball and kind of over until you pass.
That's
Wait
so
for it to
cute.
pass and just
There you
very
go.
epic.
You see macaw. You see, similar to your hawk, there are other kind of hawk-like things that stay up in the very tops of the canopy and watch you pass. As you go by a very overgrown kind of lily pad encrusted or duckweed encrusted pond, you see with your passive perception 2 crocodilian eyes just kind of watch you all pass. This is a very alive forest or jungle, really.
Until it's not. He's undead.
Wheel. Okay. Thank you for that. So you all make your trip, and as Kitten for Cuddles has chosen the wheel.
Oh, thank God.
Wait, was wheel or whoa?
Thank
So
you.
if you are willing to pay some channel points for wheel, something nice happens to you guys, and woe, something less nice happens.
Woes aren't very
Now,
nice.
typically, it is relatively minor. However, as this is a slightly aside thing, better wheels and worse woes.
Wheelers and woers.
The wheeliest and the woeiest. Lang, your foot catches something in the dirt as you're walking, or Diego's does. And Diego kind of gets down. You can see the leg.
What's that
kicks at
there?
something. You see through the mud buried like a canvas bag.
I'm gonna like take one of my lances to kind of like pick it up with the tip of it, see what it is, like slide it down to me.
You pull this bag up. Dirt crumbles away from it. Setting it down, there's something relatively small within, wrapped with great care, however very old. Probably hidden some time ago and then never collected. You want to open the bag?
Yeah, I'm looking in the bag.
What's in there? What's this?
You open the bag and you see a bridle, like a head harness, constructed of soft leather yellow, long teal, red, and yellow feathers that kind of cascade along the reins.
Ooh.
There's a magical feel to this, for sure.
Ooh. Fancy.
And so thank you, Kitten, for Cuddles,
Thank you.
for granting that wheel,
Ooh.
because you guys were not going to get that otherwise.
Oh, nice. Now we get that.
It's a harness for you or for your raptor?
It's for the raptor. It's for the. It's,
It could be for you.
We're getting into D&D After Dark. That's a subscriber-only one-shot that we're going to do. But for
4
this
whole
game,
inches.
for this game, it is for the Raptors.
I mean, for a halfling.
Oh yeah, that's impressive for halfling.
So, you find that. And as you feel this, I don't believe there's an attunement requirement for that. If
It
there
doesn't look
was,
like
there
it.
should not be.
No.
You can equip that and have the effects take place pretty much immediately.
All right. I'm gonna. Well. All right, buddy. Looks like you got a new gift.
You
You know-
take the old one
Take
off,
the old
he shakes
saddle
his
off.
head and is happy with that. As you place this on and kind of secure it, the last cinch in place, suddenly along the arms of Diego, along the backs of the arms and the back of the head, these little feathers, teal, red, yellow, just sprout. You can see Diego at first a little like perplexed,
Oh.
and then kind of moves the arms and seems pretty pleased with this.
Oh.
You know, I always felt that real dinosaurs should have feathers.
Just kind of barks at you.
What a good look.
I don't think I'll ever understand all this magic business.
It's festive.
If Diego likes it.
He looks like the chicken he just ate.
You can see he looks up at you, and he has this like almost like velociraptor smile. There's like dried blood and still one turkey feather kind of like stuck between the teeth that is now like out at one angle, but seems very happy.
All right.
It's Diego.
I give him like a pat on the nose.
Yeah.
You guys continue to walk.
Good boy.
Just so much more fashionably now.
Yeah, definitely. You walk for another 30 minutes, 40 minutes, the sun going a little further down. Shadows beginning to be cast from just off to the side of you. You get to a point where, for you, Aislin, you know this structure kind of looms ahead. There are still clumps of very closely grown together palm trees, big ferns, big boulders that are now encrusted in mosses. As you walk in the distance, maybe 60 feet away, there's a moment where, with your passive perception, you catch these two large eyes. And then your vision kind of decoding the camouflage, you see a panther that just kind of blinks and is gone into the canopy. For you as a druid, this is more of like a curious look, not a hunting look. But soon enough for all of you, especially with Aislin pointing it out, you can see in front of you, in a clearing, this kind of sandstone-built, crumbling structure. Really just archways, a few bits of floor, but even in the middle, you can see the ground is grown across, like a full fern growing in the midst of it.
Could I divine sense? It
Yeah,
allows me to, within 60 feet, know the location of an undead
Yeah,
that's not behind total cover.
absolutely. So, you close your eyes, and this mirror shield on your back seems to almost shimmer brightly on its own accord. And as you close your eyes and feel your senses expand, there is this almost tug at your mind. And as you turn yourself to the right, you can sense not just one, but 3 or 4 at the periphery of your vision, 60 feet away, just kind of lurking in this dense clump of trees. Thinking back to what you had done, and with that, kind of sniffing the air, so hard to discern underneath the fresh fallen rain and the vegetation, but there is this kind of greasy smell.
We got more greasy boys.
Greasy.
First we had Jonathan, and now we have these, like, actual undead creatures.
Undead.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, they're undead. We could sneak up on them. We could give them a wide berth.
Well, supposing we should. Best to stay out of trouble on our way to the ultimate objective.
Which is this ruin, isn't it? This is where Brouhaha, or
I would imagine.
Bruja Tortuga.
Bruja Tortuga. I wrote it down. I just didn't remember it.
There you go.
Supposing we get to this Tortuga,
Yeah.
what then?
We ask about the curse, and with the information, we could then figure out how to lift it, or slay the creature, slay the woman.
La Llorona.
Theoretically, if this woman's under a curse, you lift the curse, the problem goes away, becomes a mortal problem.
Right. I don't know if something that places curse are usually kind to the unlifting of them.
That was sort of my
Yeah.
implication. Was how do we know that this Tortuga is going to willingly give us any information when we almost died trying to get information from the one who sent to get Tortuga's curse?
Right.
She follows the dreams.
That's true. I'm optimistic about that.
Does everybody in this damn town follow the dreams?
Well, at least 2
Diego
people.
just goes,
I don't, but, you know.
You follow the optics.
The optics, the sunbeams, you know. Sometimes there's like glitters of light That's just where I end up.
You're learning.
Have you ever followed anything?
I follow the trails.
What if the trails were like a metaphor for something? Think on that one. Because the trails have led you here. And so in a way, through the trails, you've now followed the dreams.
Diego sees you look up into the sky, and Diego just kind of nudges you to get your attention back on the...
You know, you might have a point.
So,
I'll think on that.
please do.
Take out another cigar. Kind of like just rest in the saddle a little.
Yeah.
And we're just kind of like.
So you're lighting a pipe leaf cigar?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Pipe leaf and tobacco, mostly tobacco. You know.
That's a nervous question.
Fair enough. For both of you, you can smell suddenly the pungent aroma of pipe leaf kind of wafting through the otherwise fresh vegetation. Very, very clear and very obvious to both of you.
Oh,
You know when you're hunting an animal and you're downwind from them?
Put it back out.
And the smell of fresh marijuana essentially suddenly becomes that of, crumbling.
Tuck it into my like little pocket.
excuse me.
All right. Should we go knock on this lady's broken down door? Tortugas?
I'll let you lead the way. Again, I am not so magically inclined as to be facing off with this Tortuga should any unpleasantries arise.
She might also have a vendetta against men, too.
Well,
Just food for thought.
I will maintain a distance
Okay.
until otherwise needed.
Shall we? And I'll hold out my hand to you.
Take it.
And you walk hand in hand towards this crumbling ruin.
Where we no undead are.
Yeah.
Going a little bit behind. It's like
I don't know what's going on here.
I got my shield out.
Sure. You have your shield out. And so in front of you, across the ruins and across the trees, you can see these little points of light glistening across, this golden disco ball approaching.
Not
As
very
you do, as
stealthy.
you get to within 30 feet, these golden little flash points suddenly go across the dark forest beyond, and they glint across what you could swear are eyes. And with your sense of the undead, suddenly there's a surge of movement. And I need everybody to roll for initiative as you guys walk right towards the undead. Can you pass me that little ruin?
Yeah, sure.
Another counter map I gotta go get.
Oh, it's
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It can be thrown around a little now.
times am I gonna die?
we talked about all of our options, and then we're like, we'll just walk right in front of it.
Thought we were gonna sneak.
I'm not very stealthy,
So
to be honest.
Ooh, okay. That's okay.
you're all approaching from between these two sets of trees.
You got
So you can place yourself in whatever path you would like there.
So you were behind with Diego.
Let me go ahead and do a quick close-up of this. Bow.
Ooh, nice.
And then we were together. And then you have your hawk out still, Tina?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna put your hawk.
Put him up over there.
And our music needs to be a little bit more combat-oriented.
Is that good? Everyone happy with that?
Yeah.
Alright, hang on.
Let's just put Diego there.
Diego, where? Diego's right there.
Yeah, just get the other one off for now.
Oh, you
Mounted.
are gonna be represented by Diego.
Yeah, until I get
Right.
dismounted, which will
That
probably
makes sense.
happen.
It's not like you could have your
Yeah.
person up on Diego the whole time.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
just gonna
man.
keep falling over. I try it every time, it never works. It's hard to mount a mini on another mini.
No, you're absolutely right. It's surprisingly hard, actually.
Like take the base off, but
We've been playing for many years. I've been doing it quite a bit. Okay. So organized here.
I don't know anymore.
What? I'm concerned. Okay. Anybody with a natural 20? All right, 25 to 20?
23.
23 for Aislin. Anybody 20 to 15?
16.
17 for Lang. 16 for Exora. Is that right? Exora?
Exora, yeah.
Exora. And then a whopping 2 for these creatures. So you guys have a pretty good shot here. So we're going to begin with Aislin, followed by Lang, then Exora, followed by the Pishtaco. Diego moves on your initiative, Lang. So, Aislin, what do you want to do?
We can see them at this point, yes.
So at this point, as that kind of mirror light across, you suddenly see these creatures just like burst from around this rock and from the trees, and they all kind of get right up to the edge of this wall. They're rushing towards you.
They're all clumped up together.
Yes. Let me try something a little bit more fighty.
How far are they from us, roughly?
At this moment, you'd guess something like 40 feet, give or take.
I am casting Ice Knife on
Ice-
the closest one.
Okay. What does it look like when you cast Ice Knife?
Just kind of hold my hand up, and this shard of ice just kind of appears below it.
So as you hold these two fingers outstretched, it's almost like the air shimmers and the moisture is drawn in from the environment around you. It crystallizes into this knife-like blade.
That's a natural 20.
Natural 20
Whoa.
certainly hits. It flies out through the archway of this ruin, and you can see the first one as its face bursts through. It strikes right into the face.
That is max damage. That's 20 piercing damage.
20 piercing damage. So as it hits, you see it like hit right in the center of the face. It goes, and the head is split in half. One of the eyes bursts out of the front, and you can see this long tongue that goes almost to mid-chest slough away with the half of the head. It is alive. You see the brain split down the middle, the other eye like beginning to fall back into the socket. It is badly hurt.
And then, regardless of all that, the target and each creature within 5 feet of it have to make a dexterity saving throw.
I do not believe there's any within 5 feet of it. However,
one?
it does need to make a dexterity save, yeah. That is going to be a natural 1, so -2.
The ice shard shatters, and it's going to take another 9 points of damage.
So the head splits. You see shards of ice embedded in the brain and the interior of the skull. It turns towards you, somehow still alive, the tongue like a full foot away from where it should be in the empty teeth of the mouth. And as it tries to hiss at you again, the ice shatters and shreds the skull from the inside. The whole thing spread in a circle, and as it hits the ground, this layer of goopy yellow fat just across the grass from the bottom. Clumps of it freezing. But the first one is certainly dead. Well done.
And then I'm going to kind of turn around and like spin around some behind Exora, but as I'm doing so, tap around the back and guidance.
Fantastic. That brings us to Lang and Diego. Lang, you see this ice knife split one of these things in half almost, and then explode. The body hits the ground heavily, but as soon as it hits, there's already more of them clawing their way through. What are you doing?
I'm gonna cast Beast Bond as an action,
Okay.
and then I'm going to have Diego get to like the edge of the building,
Okay.
and then take the dodge action.
Okay. So you kind of reach down, and as Diego begins to like
Get ready to start
through,
lancing again.
he like screeches, the feathers begin to like rattle dangerously, almost like a rattlesnake behind him from this magical rain. And he kind of begins to dodge back and forth as he gets closer. That is your terrifying action. That brings us to Exora. What do you want to do?
Feeling Aishlin's hand grow really cold, I pull it away and I'll put it on the newfound axe I have, and I, feeling that warmth, will channel my divinity, and a sunbeam will just bless all of us as I cast Bless at the 2nd level, so that way I can also get the tiny little raptory boy.
So you can go ahead and stick those guys, and I only have 3, so go ahead and take a frightened.
Well, no, that's okay,
Okay.
because we've only got 3.
3.
Yeah, there you go. So all of you, as you see this,
so small.
the hands wrap around the haft of this radiant axe, and as it does, the few clouds that kind of go through the sky seem to part, and the light around you grows so much brighter, and as it fades away, that light, like a halo, hangs around all of you. You are considered blessed. Can you remind them what that does, please?
Sure, it does. Whenever target makes an attack roll or a saving roll before the spell ends, which is a while, as long as I concentrate on it for a minute, you can roll a d4 and add that number to your attack roll or saving.
I'm going to put that on you for concentrating.
Thank you.
So you concentrate, holding these halos in place over your allies' heads. Anything else, Exora?
Yeah, I'm going to just move up, and with my shield and my axe sort of ready... I'm not actually ready in action, but I'm going to stand prepared for the onslaught of the undead horde about
Fair
to...
enough, okay. You have this radiant glow around you from the Bless, holding this radiant axe, and as these draw closer, it's almost like it gets brighter. But that is your turn. It brings it to them. So, could you do me a favor? 2 of them are going to go up to Diego, and the other 2 are going to go up to you with your bright, shiny object.
Please do.
They go tearing through. You can hear them just the tongue lashing out wide to the side, saliva trailing. Against Diego, they're going to make some claw attacks.
I'm gonna have him attack me instead with my...
Okay, fair enough. So the first one is going to be 19 to hit.
That hits.
Hits. You're going to take 6 points of slashing damage. And that is you're taking that damage, correct?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw, please.
You get a +3 to it.
Ooh.
Plus your d4.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. I passed. It was an 18 plus 6 plus 3 plus a
Sure.
d4.
So it runs up to you and leaps across, scratches across you, and as the talons dig into you, suddenly the halo seems to dim and the light focuses around the hands. It's like it hits something, some kind of a magical shield you can't quite grasp as well. But yeah, that is the first one. The second one, that is going to be a 9 to hit.
That misses.
So that one just kind of grabs again, and Diego pulls back, like the feathers all flapping up and almost pulling him like a few inches off the ground. That is those 2. The one's attacking you, Exora. Mm-hmm. First one is going to be a 16 to hit.
Misses because it's going to hit my shield.
Yeah, so just clang off the shield. The second one is going to be much better. That is going to be a 22 to hit.
That will hit.
That is going to be... Oops. 7 points of slashing damage. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Against magic?
No.
Okay. Eight.
8?
Yes.
Whew. So this thing scratches across you. You bring up the shield, but even as you do, it is just the smallest nick that catches you right in the wrist. You pull your hand away, and as you do, you can feel your blood seem to ignite. And as it does, it concentrates on your joints, and you feel yourself grinding to a halt. You are considered paralyzed.
Ooh.
Give me 1 second here. Where's my paralyzed? You
And
have
then-
all the rings on you. That does break concentration.
When, it does?
I believe so.
I'm sorry, let me hold your
So
hand.
bless goes away.
Oh, okay. So no more rings on anybody.
And as that kind of locks up, suddenly these halos around all of you just fizzle and die. For you, as your body locks up and your joints pulse, you'd imagine probably a chance to reattempt the save at the end of your turn, but at the moment you are paralyzed. That is the first one. The second one, now with you paralyzed, is going to attempt to do so at advantage. That is only going to be a 15 to hit at advantage. Wait a second here. I believe it is actually an auto crit. Because paralyzed is incapacitated. And incapacitated means No, you know what? Attack rolls are an advantage. Any attack that hits is a critical hit, but it didn't hit. So as you are like paralyzed, this thing is scratching and scratching. Your armor taking the brunt of it. Doesn't seem to find any purchase for the moment. That is the Pishtaco's turn. That brings us to the top of the round. Aislin, you are up, Lang. You're on deck. Aislin, what do you want to do?
I am going to, if I can find where it is. I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire.
Nice.
Fantastic. And that's a zone, right?
It's a 20-foot cube. Doing
20
so
foot
to
cube.
catch them and not.
So basically, wall of
Right.
fire this way, or cube of fire. This is the edge going over.
As you wave your hand, the little shards of ice in the corpse's head lift off the ground and seem to float, almost like snowing in reverse. And as they go up to the top, they suddenly burst into tiny bits of snow that fall as fire. Beautiful, shimmering fairy fire. That is a save for all of them?
Affected creature has to make a dexterity saving throw.
So there's all 4 of them. Nice group dex save. That is a 20, a 13. What is the DC?
16.
Okay. 2 of them are going to succeed. One with a natural 20. But 1 each on Diego and on Exora is going to fail. And so those guys are, magical affected, right?
They begin to glow a green light. They give off
On the hunter's mark, the
Beautiful.
green light.
for 10-foot radius, and attack rolls against them have advantage if the attacker can see it.
As the fire, little bits of fire, almost like snowflakes, settle upon these creatures, they seem to spread across the skin, and like a glow stick-like fluid pulses with a faint luminescence. Green and teal and all the colors of like a light kind of nature. But fantastic. Anything else, Aislin?
No.
All right.
Shilarian.
Lang, as you see this fire begin to cascade down in front of you, what do you want to do?
I'm going to disengage with Diego
Okay.
and go back 5 feet so that I'm 10 feet away.
Okay.
And then I'm going to double lance the
So you
nearest.
watch Diego like
The one on
lances
fire.
backwards, and then you just start going like stabbing with lances. This halfling with 2 lances longer than him. Go ahead and make your attack rolls. Yeah.
If you're doing so in the one that's enchanted.
Oh, yeah,
it's
I
at
am.
advantage.
Oh yeah, it is. Okay. This is where. Oh.
Your character, you put so much thought into creating like a good mounted character, and
It's
just
still just
it's
terrible.
the rolls. It's the rolls that are getting you
man.
now.
Okay, what was the. So at advantage.
Yes.
Whew. Oh boy. That's 13?
13 hits.
Oh.
So looking at them, these are like almost naked, pale humanoids covered in fat and grease. They're not tanky creatures.
Alright. So the first one's gonna be nice 10 piercing damage.
10 piercing damage.
And then I'm gonna bonus action stab him with my other lance.
Yeah, go for it. So the first lance, you kind of like, and it's sloppy. You like thrust this out as Diego's going backwards. This thing covered in this weird kind of fairy fire hisses at you. What'd you roll?
A 1 and an 11. The 11's
Nice.
okay, but yeah.
What is the 11? That's
It's an 18.
an 18 hits.
Okay. So, second attack. That's for 7 piercing
7?
damage.
So it gets into the torso one time, and as you pull it away, this fat comes out. You hit it again in the arm, and as you do, again, you pull it away, and it's like a combination of fat and crimson blood that like ooze out and congeal as it does. It's looking pretty hurt. You see the arm, the bone has snapped. It's like hanging limp at the side, but its attention turns to you and it hisses. Still very much alive. Anything else, Lang?
That's it for me.
Alrighty. Exora, what would you like to do? You
I'm
can see-
paralyzed.
That's true. So go ahead, at the end of your turn, repeat your saving throw.
8. been 6 each
Try
time.
to move, and you just can't seem to move. This very low DC is high for you. You can feel this pulsing kind of venom almost, although not a poison, lock your joints in place, still unable to move.
But I'm still glittering.
You are. It is the Pishtako's turn. All of them. Man, that's going to be confusing. They're not that smart. Okay. The two that are nearest you and Diego are going to chase after Diego. So they're going to step up to you to the best of their ability. The first one. Good.
So the one that I hit,
Yes.
it has to attack me or it's going to get disadvantage.
They're certainly attacking you.
Okay. So they're, yeah.
Yeah. So the first
Not
one.
Diego, I mean.
The first one is only going to be a 13 to hit.
Miss.
The second one is going to be a natural 20. So that is going to be... I mean, it's really... Oh, well, it's 11 points of slashing damage as it leaps over, kind of grabbing onto Diego's rein, and as it pulls it down, sweeps across your face.
Oh.
Make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Is it still plus the 3?
No, that is gone now.
Wait, my aura? No, my
That's
aura.
aura.
It's aura.
Then
So I
yes.
still get
Yes.
the plus the
That's plus
3.
3.
Okay, so then that's
Oh wait, but I would have gotten the plus. Oh well, but 9's not gonna make a huge amount of difference.
14? 14? What is math? Oh, 17.
17.
No. 16.
Final answer?
Yeah.
With the 16, you feel this kind of coming into your heart, this venom, but as it seizes around your joints, this isn't going to let you stand between the dusty trails and Diego. You surge through it, no problem. That is them. Then there's 2 more. They are going to take strikes at advantage against Exora. The first one is going to be an 11 to hit.
Misses.
Second one, not much better, 15 to hit.
Nice.
So as you are paralyzed, still unable to move, they are now grabbing onto you, trying to yank elements of your armor away. I'm still unable to do so. You can see one of them like hissing directly in your face, the tongue like inches away, just dripping on your skin. But still you glisten. Aislin, what would you like to do laying here on deck?
Well, with Lang retreating back like you did, now I'm too close to your number, so I'm going to start moving in Exora's direction, but not toward her, just away from the fighting.
Okay.
And maintain concentration on fairy fire.
There you go. So you hold on to fairy fire, and still there is this beautiful, shimmering, fire-like snowstorm drifting across the area. That is your turn. That brings us to Lang. Lang, what do you want to do?
So they're within 5 feet of Diego and I now.
2
right?
of them, yeah.
Okay.
And one of them is badly hurt. You can
Yeah.
see the arm dangling off by a thread.
I'm gonna have Diego attack the other one
Okay.
with a bite attack, and it's an advantage because I have my beast bond. The spell.
So you have advantage on both then. You have 1 for fairy fire and 1 for beast bond.
Yeah. So, what's his plus to hit? That's 14.
And this is Diego.
Yes.
That's a hit.
All right. So he's gonna do a bite attack,
Okay.
or no? Yeah, slash attack. What is it?
He's got bite and claw.
Yeah, claw. It says action ranged attack. I was like, it's not an action ranged attack. Okay, typos. Ooh, wait.
Would you?
I rolled the
I saw
d20
that.
again. That's 10 slashing.
10 slashing. So you can see Diego now just lashes out, and as he kind of obeys your mental commands using the little addition that he
We're
gets from
telepathically linked right now too,
Yeah,
so
I
I
know.
can
He's
literally like talk to him.
What does he
Straight.
say?
As you like move
can,
your
like,
shoulder, he
communicate a
scratches
little.
out and slashes across one of these things. You see elements of fat like tear away and splash across the sky. Your attack?
I'm gonna actually have. Yeah, I'm gonna have Diego back up 5 feet,
Okay.
and then
That will provoke attacks of opportunity.
against him or me?
Probably against him since he's
Okay.
moving.
So they're going to be at disadvantage
Okay.
because the
Sure. First
hunter's
one.
mark, because I hit both of them.
Sure.
Yeah.
The first one is
Or not hunter's mark, where the
Fairy
beast
fire.
companion thing is.
First one's going to be an 8 to hit.
That misses.
Second one, much better. That's going to hit. That's a 21.
Okay. That just hits.
Where'd my D4 go? Oh. That is going to be a massive 5 points of slashing damage, and Diego can make a Constitution saving throw.
I'm gonna use the reaction to negate some of that. My reaction
Go
of
ahead.
interception.
So do that first. See if you can negate all of it, because if you can, then you don't need to make the save.
I think it's a, what was it, a D10 or?
D10 sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think it was a D10. Probably not gonna do it. Oh wait, how much damage was it total? 5?
5 points of damage.
That actually just gets it, I think. Oh no, it's 4.
Okay. Oh, close. The tiniest little bit gets through, and you can feel Diego tense for a moment. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
And he gets a +3 because it's an ally. Doesn't just say creatures or anything.
Good. Because that's gonna be an 11 for him.
You hear Diego kind of rumble in his throat. You're not sure, but Diego kind of shakes his head and just gets through it. It would have actually been effective for your 9. That would have helped.
God damn it!
Alrighty, so you back up 5 feet.
Nice. And then I'm going to use my bonus action to spear the one with fairy fire.
Go ahead, yeah. You back up 5 feet and thrust as you do so.
That's, I think a 13 to hit?
That just hits.
Yeah. Okay, and then a lot of different dice for this guy here.
It's your build.
I know. That's 9 plus 4, 13.
As you back up, this creature like surges forwards, and you thrust the lance out, and it skewers itself. It like takes one pull forwards, and as it does, you see the body splits, and just this goopy fat out, and it dies on your lance. Onto the ground, sure. Anything else, Lang?
I guess I'm gonna have. Yeah, I'm gonna have Diego move back about 20 feet that way.
You're not in my range.
So you swing
here,
this.
Hold on, I got it.
As Diego turns, he trots off into the woods.
This way.
Okay.
And you kind of like spin and fling your lance, the corpse sliding off into the forest as you
Go
do.
back about like 20 feet. Oh man.
Sure. And he just kind of turns and sinks into the forest. You feel like trying almost natural instincts to pounce.
Getting ready.
Lang, that's your turn. Exora, what do you want to do?
So I would have unparalyzed.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll say that now you unparalyze at the end of your last turn with your aura.
Okay.
You kind of shake off the cobwebs. You still feel sore, but what do you want to do?
I'm gonna kick these guys in the butt.
Yeah.
So I got 2 attacks. I'll attack the one at advantage that is fairy
Sure,
fire.
yeah.
With my natural 20.
Okay,
right
awesome.
here.
So double the damage on all dice. And add your modifier.
I don't have enough d8s, even though. Okay. Could I have?
D8s?
I need 3 more d8s.
There's 2.
Could I get 1 more? Thank you. All right.
Teamwork.
It's a lot of dice.
All right. Oh, it's 2 ones though. So it's
That's still
7 to. So that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage.
Is that just counted or is that double?
Well, now I'm confused. Hold on, because it's a new weapon. So I get a 1d8 from my weapon, and then a 1d8 because it's. I'm sorry.
It is undead, yes.
Because it's undead. And then I got confused because I was going to Divine
No
Smite
worries,
it.
no worries.
So that if I do a 2nd level spell slot, that would have been. That's how I got to 5. 2d8 plus the 1 extra d8 because it's undead. So then it would be this doubled
Yes.
for that one guy.
Yes.
And I don't like him.
Yeah, I know.
And I want. Does he die?
I mean, how much damage is it?
It's like
7.
28.
28.
28.
So are you using Divine Smite?
Yes, I had to do. I rolled other
Okay,
dice.
so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
so as you come to
So
suddenly
28, yeah, so
breaking
28 doubled.
56?
56 points of damage. As you break
disintegrates.
through this element of paralysis, you have these creatures clawing at your armor. The one in front of you, you grab, you twist it around by the shoulders. It like tries to get at you. You take the axe, put it up against the throat, and just decapitate it. The head falls away, and the whole body up into radiant light. The ashes fall at your feet. What else do you want to do?
Well, I get another attack.
There you go.
So I'll
my
other
God.
attack the other guy. Not at advantage, so just normal.
Lang is so out of his league right now.
12 plus 8 to hit
That
is
hits.
dirty 20.
That's certain.
I'll pump one level 1 divine smite into it, so that'll give me a total of 4 dice.
There you go.
Nice. Okay, 8 plus, hold on, so 10, 15, 16. So that's 16 plus 7 is, 16 plus 7 is like 24.
23.
23, I was close.
But enough. As this thing like becomes dust in front of you, the other one surges forwards, and as the mouth opens up, you grab it by the tongue and you put the entire axe head through the mouth, cleaving it cleanly in two, and that one too, into just radiant dust.
And then
it
do
just
my
drips
allies,
away.
do any of my allies look bad? You're
At a
too
quick
far.
glance, not really.
Alright,
Yeah.
cool. So that's it.
All right. So at the end of your turn, that leaves one of these creatures left. It is kind of just standing in the middle, hurt from Diego.
Then I'm going to move in its space. I'm going to use my movement to get in its space.
Okay, it's running after Diego, so you get an attack of opportunity as it leaves.
And I'm going to use a sentinel for the first time if I hit it.
Yeah.
So,
Damn.
oh, 2. 2 plus 8 is 10 though.
Misses, unfortunately. You swing out, and this creature just becomes like, it slips in the mud underneath your blade and then kind of runs through the woods. It has 35 feet of movement speed, so it can catch up. And it's going to make a claw attack against you. Against Diego.
At me?
Against
Wait, how
Diego.
fast can it run?
35 feet. Oh. Yeah. I actually, when I was making this creature...
I should've just ran the full 50.
You should've.
Yeah.
I gave it the extra 5 feet because 30 is standard, and I wanted to be able to catch because it's a running creature. So...
I was trying to stay within range, but I guess I should have known he was going to keep coming at me.
yeah, so he's making attacks against Diego.
He's not, because
There you go.
I've had my...
That is going to be... They've actually rolled really well. That's a 24 to hit.
that does hit. Wow.
It's been rolling like 17s and 18s.
It would have also hit Diego, though, so I'm glad I'm taking it.
You take 7 points of slashing damage and make a Constitution saving throw, please.
So that's 7 plus... That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, that's an absolute save. It slashes out at you, like, reaching through these trees. It grabs onto one of the palms and swings around, slashing at Diego. You kind of lower a leg and take the blow on your thigh. But that hurts. That is its turn. That brings us to the top of the round. Aislin, this fairy fire falling down in front of you on just corpses now. What do you want to do?
I am casting Frostbite on the one that is chasing Lang.
Okay, yeah, you turn. Go ahead and cast Frostbite.
That is a Constitution saving throw.
It's pretty good. Actually, 13.
16 was the DC.
There you go.
For 11
11.
points of cold damage.
Tell us how it happens.
Nice.
Just suddenly this frost creeps up from the ground and just like shatters.
So as this thing comes forward, it slashes on Diego. Diego like rears back and it hits you in the thigh. As this thing goes back again, it like grabs onto Diego. You can see the mouth going towards Diego's neck, and suddenly,
Look out,
as
buddy!
the hand goes through, you see the hand shatter with ice, and then ice creeps down, and down, and the whole creature, you see it like and just shatters in front of you. Snow hits you and Diego. Diego has like crimson snow now all around his mouth. But in this moment, you are all out of combat as these creatures lay dead around you. The smell of rotting fat just reeks in the air. And for you, Exora, you kind of like catching your breath shift and you hear ching, 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 your Molotov cocktails just all in your inventory unused to these creatures weak to fire.
I was saving them for later, and I might still need them.
Perpetual problem.
Yeah.
Is like
I literally was
get
like,
cool things and
it'll be
save them for
fine.
later, but later never comes.
Yeah, I know this is a 2-part one shot, and I'm like, no, we're gonna use 6 of these. It'll be fine.
I
You
always
never know.
do.
You never know.
I'll divine sense
Us to use 6 Molotov
just to make sure that the dead are really dead.
You again close your eyes and feel this divine sense spread across the forest. These creatures on the ground, all dead, very much dead, no longer undead. But in the middle, kind of right behind you as you turn around, there's this shimmering and this crackling. And suddenly, you see this amorphous kind of spirit appear. There is a kindness to it. As a paladin, you sense a good nature to it. Give me 1 second here. You see twinkling to life these golden lights that form the vague shapes of a humanoid with a massive hunchback, perhaps. And then as it kind of becomes more real, you realize it is this kind of image of a turtle, a spectral golden turtle. In the face, covering everything, almost 3/4 like the phantom of an opera mask, is an obsidian mask. For you, immediately, it brings to mind the Dreamer, or what is known as, I wrote down all these names, Otli, which is the god of dreams and of slumber. These obsidian masks are often given to children to help them sleep. There are enchanted ones that are given to them. He is the god of dreams, known as the Little Dark One for his mask that he wears. But you see, she wears this mask, even the specter. But she looks across all of you, especially settling her eyes on you. And she says, "Whoever you are, thank you for freeing my home of those wretched creatures. Have you come seeking Otli's blessing, or..." And she kind of, the mask turns and the golden shimmering bits like sway behind like wind. The mask is the most real thing, but even that's somewhat spectral.
We were told the story of a curse, and we have come to learn it more fully from you.
Oh, and you feel the sadness. The golden light dies a little bit and shimmers to almost like a bronze.
Gonna fan the golden flames! Fan the golden flames!
Oh, Shira, I see. You can see this creature turns more now to you. Itzchim and Shira were intimate. I was unaware of this when Itzchim first approached me and told me she had slain her husband. Itzchim told me only that he had wished Zira punished beyond the scope of what the Elk Warrior Codex provides. I cursed her. I cursed her to wander the river that she drowned her husband in, sleepless and always with tears in her eyes to mourn him, until his body was brought back to reunite with the spirit in the place the two were separated. I thought she would turn herself in, but a day became a week became a month, and Oakley decided to grant me the most wonderful dream of all. I have been asleep in your world for a long time. Tell me, what has happened to her?
She's a banshee.
Turns now for the first time, kind of looking through the woods 30 feet away. Yell that from the top of the head.
I would have, saddled up, headed back over to the party.
Okay. As you approach, you can see, you say, she's a banshee. This spectral turtle figure turns to you. You see the
no
obsidian
disrespect.
mask, the half kind of mouth, almost turn into a smile. And you suddenly feel underneath you Diego begin to coo and purr a little bit. But she looks up at you. What is a banshee?
River demon drowning other folk and such.
His body, her husband, must be returned to the river for her to move on. This body was never found.
Oh.
Do you know where it was last seen?
No, but I did always suspect that perhaps Itzchim knew.
Back to the Minotaur then.
The obsidian mask is focused on you. You dream, do you not?
I do.
If you are returning to its gym, if you are returning to right this wrong, look underneath the second step. There is something for you. From Oatly to you.
Skip over and thank you. Kind of take a look.
And as you kind of skip past her, you can just hear the soft whisper just say, "May you dream forever." And then the golden light kind of gets lower and lower, and you see this mass spin and then just vanish. But you skip up to the step. You notice the sandstone very loose here, and as you pull it away, you see a staff underneath. As you have to pull 2 or 3 of these blocks away, but a smooth handle the color of sand that rises up to a head of gnarled but still living creosote brambles. Even after all this time, tiny puffs of white buds that rise out of the thick thorny wood. As you uncover, the air on the staff smells strongly of sweet petrichor. And the only one that was able to print at a regular size. Yeah, look at that.
It wasn't as... I don't need my,
it's
my
not so bad.
magnifying glass for this. I'm not that old yet.
And as Tortuga Bruja vanishes, leaving this beautiful scent of fresh rain and vegetation, because it is 11:41 and a perfect place to end for this evening, that is where we're going to end for now. So, thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. I'll go back to our main kind of viewpoint here. One really cool thing too, so just so you guys know, with those items, so that is a Staff of the Wild, which is, super awesome druid item. That's roughly a reflavored Horseshoes of the Zephyr, but for a velociraptor, because, they don't have horseshoes.
Yeah, that's good.
And I thought for your character in particular, already a halfling dual-wielding lances on a velociraptor is crazy, but flying?
Oh man, that's the perk?
Yeah.
One of
That's
them. There's a couple cool
dope.
things with it. And then for your axe, it is, I think it's like Sun Smasher, but it's a warhammer that was slightly reflavored and then altered to fit the setting a little bit more as the
Yeah.
axe of the Turquoise Lord. But you guys beat the Pishtako, which is fantastic. You guys did not beat the police, but it worked out
Almost
okay
got
since you
fucked
guys started a protest.
Yay!
Meaningful social movement.
Should be
thank you guys.
rewarded.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you guys got magical items, so thank you guys very much for hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate it. Appreciate redeeming the channel things for Wheel, especially, because that got you your
That
item.
was really nice.
So that item, the lizard man initially was going to be able to give it to you.
Oh, really?
And then there was a chance in the back. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things. At the end of session 2, I'll tell you guys some of the cool stuff you guys could have done. But next week on Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, please join us for part 2 of this adventure, where we take the now newly equipped party, return perhaps to the town, and figure out something to do with this troublesome
Fuck up this
Minotaur
police.
And one of them you guys had chased and cornered in a tree, so we'll get back to that.
Now I've got his
That's
weapon, so
true.
he can't beat us.
Yeah.
Like, what's he gonna do? Pull out a
Just gotta
dagger?
Call him out. High noon on the main road.
I think that would be amazing. I would love to see a high noon duel in the middle of this town.
Just the Minotaur rushing at the fucking
Velociraptor. You guys could have one of those lancing
Yeah.
battles where you run it like.
You have to bury the Molotov cocktails in the street ahead of time.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, if you want to see this and more, join us next week at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on twitch.tv/AlberonRPG. But until then, especially if you're living in part of the world that is affected by this crazy rain and ice, please stay safe out there. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.